aggression from Stewie there. Hits the great headshot. The flashbang comes through. Further, Undetected so far. He's going to get multiple frags here. Just good for one, but Fallen's there to back him up. The classic CT's position for the AWPer. 20 seconds remaining, and Mousesport still need to get close to that bomb plant.
And both the remaining CTs of Fallen and CORSAIR have an AWP each. It's not tailor-made for retaking. If he can stop the plant, though, he just goes out raw without any grenades preceding it. And it seems Mousesport have thrown away a golden opportunity. CORSAIR doesn't have to re-peek. He knows the bomb's down. MIBR have done it.
I think that's a massive fumble from Chris J. We surely knew the AWPer was in CT spawn, and he'd already found a frag. And at that point as well, you had Sunny who's making his way towards connector. Surely plant for him, get it on that side. I think it was maybe a brain fart at that point because surely the information was given. You had no smoke towards CT. Fallen's alive with the AWP. He's already found a kill. You'd think at that point, let's just plant for Sunny and at least give ourselves a fighting chance. The clock was running very low. It's a high-pressure moment. Maybe a missed call came through from a teammate. We'll never really know in that regard. But still, MIBR, that could have been a little bit different. That bomb got planted safely. They could have clutched it with Sunny alive, especially. He's so important in those situations. But still, it is 2 rounds in a row from MIBR. Like we said, this is where they really get going. Tarek's going to be given that secondary AWP now. 0 and 6 for himself, but it's fine. They're getting back into the game. There's the coach LMVT for Mousesports. Gets to be a little bit more stuck in here at DreamHack. Fur opts to the MP9, and trust me, that's not a problem. I mean, that guy makes that look like a rifle sometimes. It's unbelievable what he can do with that particular weapon. Very aggressive, but maybe Yanko has leashed him somewhat these days to hold him back. We'll see.
It certainly is the kind of weapon where you'd want to be more aggressive, or at least play an angle that plays to its strengths. A very fast bullet dispersal, but it does seem that MIBR going to have Fallen moving into jungle. And this does seem like the default for Mousesports, just kind of sitting around mid, waiting, anticipating some kind of a play, holding on to a bunch of their util at the early doors. They still have 4 smokes to play within 3 Molotovs. One molly just gets tossed in there from the CTs into BAPS. They've seen a couple of plays here in the past, double stack on the balcony, and once again, completely giving up mid control. They have no interest whatsoever in contesting this, it would seem.
We'll see what happens, Vince. 1 minute mark coming in now. Chris J. He'll have that Mac 10. He's starting to head towards the B apartments, and you can see who's waiting for him. It's old mate Tarek. He'll be waiting with the AWP. Yet to find a frag, but this is a strong position for him. You can see him. Oh, maybe since the gun barrel's there, you can see a flicker of pixels as he holds tight. This could be working out for him any second now. Fires a shot. You can see he's baiting his teammate as well. That's going to be Oscar opening things up. So good towards B, but CORSAIR, he's going to be standing in the flames, trying to do whatever he can here. He finds 2 kills, 3 versus 2, and Fallen just looks sensational right now, hitting every single shot. Just the way we used to love. And now Oscar left in an almost impossible situation here.
That was unbelievable. CORSAIR got 2 frags from that position. It looked like he should be completely silenced, but here comes Oscar with the AWP as his weapon. He is looking to rain down some serious pain. There's only 8 seconds left. He's got to get a move on. Gets a second frag, and it's going to be almost a whiff spray from the aforementioned MP9. But they get it done.
That was too close for comfort. If I'm Fur, I'm knife out, I'm getting out of there. But 5 seconds remaining, he went for it. And Oscar, he almost got that one. There was Tarek trying to get it done. He did bait in CORSAIR perfectly, you have to say that. It's a lovely little setup. But you're right, standing in the flames, flashbangs going off. CORSAIR gets 1, good for 2 on the drop down somehow. Saves the round, and now it's a partial buy for Mousesports. MIBR closed the gap to 1. 4 plays 3 now in favor of Mousesports, and Oscar beats the flames at least. Trying to catch his opposition off guard. If he got the 1 dig there, that really would have been something quite special. In other news, Fur is top of middle right now, and he's going for frags.
So they've gone from no mid presence to right up in the face, right up in the grill of Mousesports. Maybe hearing those footsteps to his right-hand side now, Fur deciding to push in. That is the bomb carrier too of Sunny. So if he can get this kill, it's just gone horribly wrong. But it does seem Sunny's going to be able to vacate the area just in time. And now the flanker becomes the flankee, but Fur's going to be able to put down the paint with 2 kills. Caught well and truly in the middle though. Finally goes down and will gift wrap an M4 across. Did his damage. A lot of information too, but there is a minute to play with. So that information's not really that valuable at this stage.
Totally agree. Oscar, one of the only rifle available for Mousesports here. They have 3 smokes to be fair, Vince. This isn't a foregone conclusion just yet. If they can isolate Fallen and CT spawn, focus on Stewie in towards the shadow area, as long as the smokes are spot on here, they have got a chance. Problem is, only one flash. Is it enough to bait out a shot from Fallen here? Here comes the flashbang now. Will he fire off? He actually flashes in response. That could actually set Stewie up here, but no. Robs takes him down. Fallen now in a lot of trouble. Like I said, these smokes were absolutely everything from Mousesports.
They really needed Stewie to land at least one kill on his way out. As it stands though, CORSAIR perched up on the tall booth, trying to punch in the tickets of Mousesports, and Tarek's going to lend a helping hand. He's had a bit of a slow start, but that kill could yield the round for MIBR. Just lands on Oscar. His position not currently known, a Molotov to try and deter him from peeking. They're going to go for the defuse. He's not too interested for the time being, and they're going to get the full defuse. Yeah. He assumed it was a fake.
Why not? Oscar is just hoping they play themselves at that point, but CORSAIR, he's playing like the chess right now. 2 steps ahead of his opponent, working out how he'd be thinking in these sort of scenarios. How would Oscar maximize his chance? What kind of gambles would he take? Not peeking the first defuse is actually a very viable option, because most CTs in that sort of situation, they'll tap the bomb, trying to bait you out, then take you down together. It's unlikely to go for the full defuse, and that's exactly what CORSAIR does. Going for an unpredictable play, and it's perfect. 4-4. We're all tied up here, and hopefully this is the series we're looking for, but a much faster approach as the T's just barrel out of the apartment here, but Stu is ready. He gets 2. Snacks with 1 in return, but that's the A side. Pretty much open at this point. It's going to have to be a retake for MIBR.
Does seem that A's been a bit of a weakness so far for MIBR. Typically, Mousesports has been getting quite a lot of headway in here, but the fast rotation for Fur once again. Maybe not expecting him to do this twice, quite a cheeky play. They still haven't got the bomb planted just yet, learning from their mistakes previously where they went for the plant without any grenades beforehand, and Snacks has got it down on default. The positioning from the rest of the team of Mousesports, Tetris and on the stairway. Incendiary onto Firebox, lives up to its name, forces Snacks out into the open, and now Fur, his flank has been a success with 2 kills. Snacks, all that remains, but not for much longer. MIBR regain the lead.
You can see Fur getting in the zone now. If he can get towards T-spawn with about 30 seconds into the round, you know he's kind of reading the game in code at that point. He knows what's going on. He knows their movements and tendencies. He's not just doing it for fun. He knows what to do in these sort of scenarios. You can see they're not anticipating that whatsoever, Vince. It's great to watch. It's a very unusual play style. Not many CS players try and replicate what he does, because it takes an incredible amount of skill and bravery. And also, I guess, at some point, some people would consider that to be a stupid play, but that's sometimes the best plays you can do, is the unexpected ones.
It's a cool little Molotov there to try and extinguish a smoke that's tossed into window from Fallen. If you're wondering why he just did that. And understandable, because they've been focusing a lot on mid so far.
Yeah, so he wants to be there.
It does look like a bit of egg on face, because now he's used that Molotov for no real great deal of advantage back in favor of MIBR, but 10 players remain on the server still. And still plenty of time to utilize.
Plenty of time. Let's look at the general setup here. There's 3 players towards middle for Mousesports. You can see Fallen just keeping his eye on towards short, but that will be smoked off eventually. You want to smoke in the mouth of the bomb site, just like that, so you can get the connector control first. Get yourself set up there so the CTs don't have that area. It's a very valuable bit of real estate there on Mirage, and ideally maybe get someone boosted up towards window, but for now they're just kind of feeling things out, and Mousesports really are focusing that A side. You pointed it out. Yeah. It has looked like a bit of a weakness, a bit of an entry point for them, but MIBR have been winning the rounds when they've been retaking the bomb side, but Stewie waiting by the ramp itself. Fallen still there with the AWP. Furs watching the window for the boosts. It's still looking good. They're prepared. Stewie gets flashed in towards A ramp, gets nothing for it, but 30 seconds remaining. There's 3 players now waiting to go towards A4 as Oscar joins him, but Sunny will open things up and take down Fur.
Perhaps just trying to avoid CORSAIR at all costs, but they're going to be walking into the embracing arms of Fallen, and he will knock Snacks off his mortal coil, is hoping for more. 15 seconds, they still haven't covered all the angles here. Stewie is laid in wait. So with the bomb sprawled out in the open, Stewie will strike. Has he done enough though? Fallen now has to pick up the mantle. Wait for the rest of his team to rotate. CORSAIR is on point on Chris J. 3 seconds to go, and CORSAIR is going to take the round away, and to make matters worse, Sunny dies after time.
That means he gets no money, ladies and gentlemen. That is a nightmare situation. Sunny with $600, just as the team gets maximum loss bonus as well. That is a significant significant and detrimental death for him at the very end. You could see them panicking and floundering towards the end of that round. They actually tried to drop the bomb out of the apartments. Right, getting the bomb out, pressing G, getting on the floor instead of just jumping out. It looked like they were very apprehensive. Fallen had them locked down. They weren't really sure how they could really recover from that situation. And with Sunny with no money whatsoever, wants to play here. The rest of the team can buy, and that's why they've taken a pause here now. What do they want to do? Do they give up this round and allow them to have it? Oscar has purchased the AK-47, but I think that's one of those tactical purchases we discussed earlier. A star player, especially one who's got 11 frags right now, picks up one AK. The rest of the team will go for a partial buy. In Sunny's case, a full buy of that one CZ. He had no cash. You can see he doesn't look too happy about it. And we go to round number 11, and you have to say, Vince, after being 4-0 down, MIBR have looked convincing since they've got the double orbs out and started to stabilize their own economy.
Absolutely, the pendulum of Counter-Strike has well and truly shifted. 6 rounds.
Oh my God.
Sonny caught that on his face.
Yeah, he really did.
96 damage from a grenade.
He hasn't got armor. The only player that you didn't want that to happen to, it goes down his throat essentially and ruptures his insides. So that's not ideal.
It's pretty much as much damage as you can take from a grenade as possible.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You can't get an insta-kill with them, but I think that's pretty much as high as it gets. Maximum damage.
Any hope of pushing out of mid has been squashed. Right there with that 1 HE, a money nade worth every cent. Fur's going to take a bit of damage, but it's more of a love tap. And it is going to be Oscar, the only AK-47 that Mousesports possess. Apart from that, it's CZs. So they've kind of flirted with the idea of mid, and now A, and now they're going to be moving over to B, meeting all of the quotas. But they have been avoiding B for good reason, because CORSAIR is laid in wait up on the balcony. He's joined by Tarek, and they're looking for this bait once again. There's not much time either, Henry. They have to pull the trigger on this.
35 seconds, Vince, and CORSAIR is in that same position. He right-clicks the flashbang. That's going to destroy them. Oh my God, they can't do anything about it. CORSAIR, oh, he's getting the zone. One thing that really excites me about this tournament is some of the prowess we've seen from the world's best. You saw Nico earlier, lighting his opposition up like birthday candles earlier, and now it's CORSAIR looking like he's in career best form as well. That's some amazing fragging potential for him. 18 kills, 3 deaths. That's what we want to see, Vince. From that man in particular, you want to see those numbers. Jeez. 11 rounds played, he's got 18 kills.
Unbelievable. And it's not as if the likes of Tarek, who's only on 3 and 8, have been playing poorly. It's just CORSAIR has been everywhere, omnipresent. You can't handle him right now. And it seems that Mousesports have decided to go back to their tried and tested A side hit. And to be fair, they have got success in terms of bomb plants. It's just been the retakes they've struggled with. Not been able to hold on to what's been planted down. Double stack and connect up, playing quite passively at MIBR, with the exception of Stewie, who's once again in shadow. He's had a couple of awkward moments. Not this time, though, is at least going to get the 1 kill. CORSAIR, who's typically been on B, has made the call, and Tarek, what was that? He just burnt himself to a crisp, tried to extinguish his own Molotov, and I need to see the replay of that after this round's done. But MIBR are still in it. Fallen connects onto Sunny, leaving both him and Fur to try and somehow salvage this round.
It's a strange one. We've definitely had some awkward moments of the incendiaries this event, but still a 3 versus 2, and Fur is capable of pulling this one back. Good move from him so far. Knows exactly where Chris J is. Going to use an incendiary to set up the defuse. This could work out. This is looking perfect. Get that defuse going, Fallen. Oscar is in a lot of trouble here, and I think he knows it. He's opting out of it. That was looking like an incredibly advantage towards Mousesports at that point, but they couldn't actually hold it together. Fur and his movement coming through, he knew exactly what he had to do there. Just starting to crouch in. As soon as he gets that kill, and the moment that smoke is deployed as well, he's got the incendiary towards the apartments. He doesn't have to look in that area anymore, and it works out perfectly there. So, 8-4, MIBR running away with this one. They were 4-0 down, and we're going to find ourselves in round number 13. Oscar's got the AWP, but they can't get around on the board. It's been so long, but they have got the maximum loss bonus, and as long as they keep planting that bomb, Vince, they'll be absolutely fine for cash in that regard. Absolutely.
I tell you what, Tarek is thanking his teammates there after that blunder on CT, but it's going to be all of us again, and here comes Stewie. It's all too easy for MIBR. 8 rounds looking like the 9th, unless Sunny and Rops can pull it back. And remember, that pistol round also really should have gone the way of the CTs. Barring a crazy play from Sunny, who still is alive and in the thick of it. Bomb dropped out just outside of ramp is going to be an issue, though. a real nuisance. The Finn trying to work some magic from Connector, while his neighbor of the Estonian is in ramp. Backward positions assumed by MIBR, and judging from these angles, you'd have to fancy them to take this round.
I think so. Robs and Sunny. Backs to the wall once again. The bomb's down in front of Robs. Still have to work here. It doesn't have to be a forced issue here. Sunny trying to get out of the connector, but Tarek is watching it like a hawk right now.
Sunny going to make a move. Flashbang preceding him. Made a bit of wiggle room, but it has been stamped down. Once again, Mousesport squashed.
Sports. No bomb plan that time, Vince, and that's what we've been talking about. That's what's been keeping them alive. Yanko's probably explaining that situation right now. I know he's a money fan as well. He likes to follow the cash. He'll be aware of the prospect of them not really having that much to work with. They've got $3,400 per player, and Oscar's purchased the AWP. Now, this is actually a bit of a calling card of Mousesports. They do this quite a lot on their full eco, sometimes even on the CT side. Oscar's so confident in his own ability to carry rounds single-handedly. He goes towards B like this and tries to get the close-range encounter. This one still might work out for him. Doesn't hit the no-scope, though, and Tarek will get the advantage. Wasn't the cleanest of kills, but they all count. They have the 5 versus 4. If I'm Fur right now, I'm falling back. I'm keeping that advantage, but he knows a lot more than I do, Vince. He knows what he wants to find. He gets the kills, and he brings it into a 5 versus 3.
And he is brimming with confidence. It's the kind of play you look like a fool if he dies, but a genius if it works out. And that was all about a Molotov that was thrown behind Oscar, isolated, segregated the 2 players in B-Apps. I believe the second one was Chris J, who's just found his maker and been put out of round 14. But solid work by MIBR. It's all the little things that add up into this accumulation of rounds. Snacks and Rops, both with CZs. Only 10 kills between the 2 of them. CORSAIR has romped on to 19 and 4. Fallen gonna help him out, and Snacks not long for this world as Fur using the off angle. Not a single point of health was lost in that round. 10-4.
Absolutely bizarre. MIBR, if they can keep this up, I'll be very impressed. It's looking fantastic right now. You can see how the machine is designed to work. You can see all the fragging potential. Now the synergy is being thrown in. It's looking deadly, and Mousesports don't really have a response just yet. They won the pistol. That's pretty much all they've had going for them so far. They've missed a smoke towards the window area. And Fur, once again, he is just having a field day. This is when he knows he's in the zone. He starts just rushing around the map and making them look a little bit foolish. He's going towards T-spawn already. Keep your eyes on him, ladies and gentlemen. He's about to cause absolute destruction here, but Oscar, one step ahead of him, takes him down. Finally, something going in favor of Mousesports.
And that clip right therein, explains why the AK is preferred over the M4. They both landed headshots.
Yes,
Oscar survives with 11, Fur's a dead man.
That's why it's significant when CTs get the AKs, because then they can make those sort of plays, knowing if they do have the aim, they can take them down in an unrivaled fashion. But there we go. It is going to be the final round of the first half, and finally, a huge advantage here for Mousesports, 5 versus 3. Tarek, though, knows he needs to make something happen. He can't just sit back in the bomb site. He needs to find frags and find them quickly. Great shot by him to take Oscar down. A lot of wall bang there as well, but still so much more to do.
Yeah, Mousesports could be getting their first round in 10. Yes, you heard that correctly. Just joined us. They were 4-0 up at one stage. But the cogs started to get turning, and I wondered, we saw FaZe in perfect form earlier today. It seems that MIBR have been inspired. They have been pushed forward to show the world what they're capable of doing. And this puts us into great shape for later on in this event, man. If FaZe and MIBR are both firing all cylinders, we're in for some good matches. Fallen, though, going to get caught by Chris J. Didn't really have any backup whatsoever, as CORSAIR and Tarek are both occupying mid and B, respectively, but now going to chime together and try and push through connector. 13 seconds left. Not going to be able to stop the bomb. It's all about afterwards. Can CORSAIR maybe cultivate a kill on the retreat? No, but they do have some utility.
Surely this is the Mousesports round. They need this one. They can't go 11 rounds unanswered. CORSAIR will do what he can. The incendiary is starting to be deployed right now. Sunny wants to challenge, but that's going to be detrimental for his team. Pressure starts to be applied now. The flames are engulfing towards Snacks there, but he does hit the kill. That should be the round. Tarek can't do anything about that. We do have 10-5. Not the worst half in the world, if you think about it. 5 rounds on the T side. Sure, it's not ideal, but let's see what's done at all.
Let me tell you what I thought, Henry. This is exactly what I thought. You could have cut the tension in this room with a butter knife earlier before MIBR picked up a round. And, well, it only took 10 unanswered ones for Mousesports to finally grab another one. Either way, going into the second half, I do believe the MIBR are letting them have it when it comes to this verbal battle out here because, quite frankly, they're not shying away from the noise that they're making on this side of the camp. You know, Henry, how are you feeling overall here? Who's going to walk away with this best of 3?
For me, it feels like MIBR might be too strong at this point. When Fur is in every position on the map and he's in their spawn essentially and within 30 seconds, Vince, you know his confidence is brewing. He's showing no
terrifying prospect is that we're mentioning Furl because he was making a lot of plays. He was super impactful. The fact is, he's on 12 and 9. CORSAIR is 19 and 5. So you don't just have Fur to deal with. You've got an informed CORSAIR too.
Absolutely agree. Well, this pistol is going to mean everything for Mousesports. They managed to pick it up in the first half. Can they do it again? It's a fast A split coming in from MIBR. Fur to lead the charge, looking for block headshots, but gets their USP instead. Drops will go down, and that's the A site. Open for now, blocked by the smoke. The CTs are going to have Oscar though in towards Shadow, but not for long.
He has been found and Fallen goes in for a second, doubling up and giving the advantage to MIBR. CORSAIR is waiting for the rotation. He's found it, but not in time to save Fallen's life. Snacks did just beforehand get that kill, but it's all on Sunny. Now, he did pull off a sick clutch and a huge performance in the first pistol round, but Lightning will not strike twice. MIBR pick up the second pistol. That's a huge lifeline that goes wanting by Mousesports.
Absolutely so. 11 to 5 now. MIBR, emphatic play. And we always talk about the idea of the pistol round, the strategy and stuff. It's such a mind game because they're going to damage your demos, know what you like to do, but then you just chain things up. You have a couple of tactics you like to deploy there. Sometimes go fast, sometimes go to the execution. And MIBR went very, very fast indeed there. Straight up towards A, traded out kills, and actually quite a convincing victory towards the end. Force by coming in, you understandably so from Mousesports. They need this round. They can't really afford to go down 13 to 5, considering the way MIBR look right now. CORSAIR is at 20 frags just going into the first couple of rounds of the second half. And it looks like Fallen's back generally. Like, I'm really happy to see. Like, I felt like he had a slump in 2018. We didn't really see that much from him as the team kind of dwindled out of the conversation of like almost the top 10. And it's great to see him get the MVP over a Zotac. And now he's looking like he's continuing that form here in Stockholm. But Mousesports, definitely a proficient Mirage team. I was hoping we'd see a bit more out of them today. It's not over just yet, but it looks like they're clutching at straws at some points. But we'll see this double scout set up. Definitely got players capable of it. Chris J definitely could cause a bit of danger here. We'll see. He'll be rattling off shots towards the ram. Nothing connected just yet.
Chris J, known for being one of the best scout players in the world, but didn't really have much of a chance to strike through the smoke. Fur just checking every single angle, making sure no one's on the staircase. The smoke's perfect. The bomb plant down, 5 on 5. The retake gonna start to come in with Deagles, the 2 scouts as we mentioned earlier. Not ideal for retaking sites though, so they're already gonna back away. Mousesports making sure they're gonna keep as many of these weapons available for the next round so they can rinse and repeat, but at the end of the day, it's going to be 12-5 to MIBR. And they are moving very quickly towards that finish line for the first map in this best of 3.
Now, Vince, we call these rounds a unicorn round. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the concept of all 10 players survive. Basically means you have to do a forfeit, okay?
Oh, okay. As long as it's not eating a boot.
Did you ever do that? I can't remember. I did follow
no, because I looked, it was like, you may actually die from chemical.
Yeah, exactly. They're treated with like all sorts of things to get the water out of them. Definitely don't put it in your body for anyone who's going to do forfeits.
Instead, I just did like really hot chili challenges and stuff, and I'm awful with spice.
Okay, that's cool though.
So I was just wrecked.
Did you have a big red face on stream?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into details, but the toilet wasn't the same for 2 weeks
Oh
afterwards.
dear, oh dear, oh dear. But there we go. Well, I'll spare you this time. If it happens again, now you know the rules. The unicorn round comes in once again. We'll get a Twitch chat to think of a forfeit for you. Anyway, it is going to be next round. You get a second bite of the cherry of your Mousesports because you accepted that round as over. You kept everyone alive. You now maybe get to upgrade a few things, purchase a couple of flashbangs here, get a kit like Snacks has done. You've got those scouts still, and we'll see whether they can recover perhaps.
Well, if the last round is anything to go by, it doesn't look good, but it is a completely different fit. Last time was a full A execute. We could still have that coming into fruition with MIBR on with what worked for them. Sunny playing a bit more aggressively this time with a Deagle, and Oscar's there, just disappearing into Palace. But the fact is that with such superior firepower, it doesn't really matter where Mousesports go. It really should still go the way of the T's here, unless they make a massive error.
I agree. Scouts. And now a player removed. That's Osco saving for the AWP. He was alone in towards Palace. Chris J, though. Another go towards A. Surely the smoke comes in to block his vision, but I don't think it'll make a massive deal. Like, he'll probably get a tag here, just like that. Oh, he connects. I take it all back, and it's looking very simple at this point for MIBR. They're even attacking each other, and just drops with the final scout. It's going to be 5 players surviving by the looks of things for MIBR. 13 to 5, Vince. We had a very one-sided affair earlier in the phase optic showdown, and this could be quite a similar finish here.
Yeah, it's almost like MIBR trying to outdo FaZe. You know, yeah, Nico, you landed 32 kills. We don't care. We're just going to smash Mousesports.
Just to know, Oscar's got 20 kills, and they're 13-5 down. So he's doing every... Oh, no, have I got that wrong? He's got 13 kills. My GUI screwed up for a second. I'm going to take that all back. Everyone calm down. Okay. I was about to say, that does sound incorrect, but there we go. He's got 13 kills. He's still at the very top, but not quite the amount I thought. It's going to be the all-cross finish round. The shotgun coming out. Chris J with the scout. Stewie's is going very fast. And this, when you get into these sort of positions, you've got such a huge advantage. You can start exploiting the fact that they won't have as much to work with. They might be a little bit more caged, but Sunny anticipating the fast boost towards the window. And now the scout from CT has to defend once again. 3 versus 2 as another CT player falls. It's going to be now Tarek leading the charge towards A and planting the bomb towards Connector.
Tarek may have had a slow start. He was 006 at one point. He's 15 and 10 now. He has shifted through those gears incredibly fast, but Oscar is going to derail him alongside Snack. So Mousesports aren't going to pick up their first round of the CT side.
Yeah, a little bit of a disappointing move there from Tarek. Just snuck up towards ladder. Didn't really think about CT spawn whatsoever. He could have stayed Shadow and had a fighting chance at least of a duel, but either way, Mousesports find their first. It's a timeout. Fallen's calling him. Yanko wants to get stuck in by the looks of things, and I'm sure LMBT has got some things to say as well. We'll see whether we can recognize the temperament right now in the MIBR camp. I love the way that you remember when timeouts used to happen, it'd be Fallen giving the big speech now. It's cool to see he's just listening to what Yanko's saying. It's not like a conversation. Yanko does seem to be in charge of this operation.
And it kind of goes back to what you said before. He had a drop-off period, right? I'm wondering, maybe one of the analysts can ask Fallen after this game if they do win it. Is Yanko's very hands-on approach allowing Fallen to be freed up a little bit more to focus on his own gameplay?
I think it relieves some of the pressure. Now not everyone's looking to him for the answer. If things go wrong, he can just focus on his own game. He can be like more of a traditional AWP now, say where he wants to go and what he wants to do, especially in this sort of environment where Yanko can talk at all times. I think especially this kind of event is perfect for them, just for the major, just to get everything drilled and perfect, and then Fallen can take this experience and see what works out best for them. But either way, it's very interesting. I think we've had lots of great storylines here at Masters so far. It's been very interesting to see how they've developed. Another one, obviously, is the Snack story here of Mousesports, and haven't seen too much from him. 8 and 13, not really much of a conversation to be had about him so far.
Certainly not. Has gone under the radar a little bit, and for good reason. But Stewie and Sunny, the early casualties of the 20th round, going to be forced to sit on the sidelines and watch their teammates duke it out and see which team can move forward. If it's MIBR, Mousesports very likely will concede this map. Very little room for error from here on out. MIBR feeling their way through BAPS, not going to be pushing just yet. CORSAIR going back up to reclaim the bomb. They don't have any player towards ramp or Palace just yet, and that's allowed ROPS to push into Palace. So a bit of information has been gathered from the CT perspective. But mid-control again is lacking. There's been a consistent theme on both sides.
Let's see how this one pans out. MIBR, if they can win this, it's a harsh reset, pretty much to GG if they win this round, Vince. So much pressure. On Mousesports pick this one up, Fallen confident he goes towards Connector. A's essentially open, as ROPS holds towards the Palace area. That's a strong position for him, but one smoke removes him from the equation entirely. Tarek and co now make their way towards A. Tarek holding towards the CPL area for rotating players, and he's going to get a couple. Oscar's there, ready and waiting. He already goes down. Fallen beats him to the punch. Bomb to be planted, but the last hope here is ROPS. He didn't deny the plant. He's going for the long con here, hoping his teammates can set him up.
It's all about waiting for Snacks, who's still on short. He has the AWP. Surely they haven't tapped out of this round already. I mean, Snacks is already backing off, looking into... It looks like they've given up. ROPS had a sick position, but Mousesports are playing for the longer game. sure if they have full confidence in their ability to win back this map, or if they're a little bit nervous and don't think they can pull off the 3v4 retake.
Well, at this point, if they did go for it and lost absolutely everyone in an unlikely retake, they would be left with nothing. They would just have pistols and armor and a couple of grenades. This way, at least, the game's not over. If they can save the AWP, the M4s, at least they have something going into round number 21 here. They're 14-6 down. They've picked up 1 round so far in the second half. It really is do or die time. Someone needs to step up here. We need to see one of these big names really go to town. We'll see whether it's possible here as we get further and further into this first map. Remember, I think this is the Mousesports pick, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong, Vince?
That is correct.
It's correct. Look, I've got something right. Oh, there we go.
And Inferno's next.
Oh, dear. That could be
Indeed, that was kind of my thought as well.
yeah. Okay, then. Well, Fallen, he'll kick things off. Lovely shot by him. Well, that's the AWP moves of Oscar. 5 versus 4. Chris J, what have you got left for me, my friend? We do need to find some headshots here. That will do. The bomb goes down. Flashbang to be deployed as well. He really does need to get out of there. Notice he has no backup at this point. There's so many smokes down. His teammates can't really back him up. He has to fall away and try and survive and capitalize on this 4 versus 4. Snacks, definitely proficient with the AWP. First time I think we've seen him using it so far, picking it up from Oscar's corpse. But now things should start to calm down as we get to the 1 minute mark and MIBR just hold up.
Yeah, back in the VP days, at one point he was the primary AWPer. Played second fiddle for a while for Pasha too. So we know he's got that ability, but he got smashed on the retreat down to 13 health. Not going to be able to have too much impact for the time being. They need Robs to dig him out in this very deep ditch, and maybe Chris J had a flurry, just a moment within him, but it's been snuffed out. And now Rops is the last man standing. They're not going to expect this position. He's given away the complete whiff. And that, for me, is just a summary of this entire map for Mousesports.
Yeah, that really does sum it all up, doesn't it? And Robs as well, you can see that's not usually something you see from him. That is quite a disastrous whiff. I'm not going to say it's going to affect the outcome again. I feel like I had this one tied up regardless, but still, it just really will get in his head. He's a young player. Those kind of misses can play on your mind. You know, there's potentially hundreds of thousands of people watching, and it can get in your head thinking, oh, that was pretty horrible. It doesn't really matter. You've got to pick yourself up and realize, like, let's look to the next map at this point. Very similar kind of sentiments from the first map we watched of FaZe and Optic, for example. You just, regardless of the scoreline, this didn't work out. You can bounce back in the second map.
Definitely could trade maps, although Inferno's not going to be an easy task whatsoever. Tarek and Rops have traded kills. Rops again will control pallets. Last time wasn't able to do anything with it. Sonny does swap Jury, does a bit of damage, but it's negligible at best. And Oscar's in a duel to the death with Fallen, but they both will decide not to go out on their shields. They want to live a little bit longer. Further in amongst the ruckus has made a move through Connector, but that's to his demise, courtesy of Rops delivering the headshot with the Kalashnikov. Now Zach has a chance, but he's missed out too. Stewie goes in for a couple, living up to his name, and now Oscar 1-on-2, long range UMP. Good luck. He has traded out to an AK. Doesn't matter. 16-6. And as dominant as he could ask for.
They remain undefeated for now. That was a clinical performance. After going 4-0 down as well, Vince, as soon as the money stabilized, you could see how efficient they look right now, how the synergies come in, something that was really lacking before. Fur could always do those aggressive pushes, but could he make it work every single time? It seems like they've got the working parts now around him to do it tactically and efficiently and get inside the head of their opposition, which is exactly what happened, I think. They looked so rattled after he did it 3 or 4 times in a row. They didn't really have a response, and they were getting shut down and panicking in the key moments of the game.
So you've had FaZe perform incredibly earlier today, and now MIBR have maybe just outdone them. Because it's a higher caliber of team, right? Like, Mousesports are up there as one of the best teams in the world.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. We do move over to Inferno next. MIBR look pretty flawless right now. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back after this break.
Does he always do that?
Yeah, that's kind of his thing.
Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet.
Grab your gear and let's go.
With the Strafe Esports app, follow your favorite teams and players, and you'll never miss a match again. Strafe, everything esports. Download now on iOS and Android.
We've enabled winners to succeed, brought entertainment to millions of homes, and sparked ideas within curious minds for generations. But whatever you set out to do, we can't take credit for your success. We just provide the power.
The Digital Pass, bringing the arena to you. Experience CSGO from the player's point of view. Check out the exclusive content and don't miss the highlights. We have everything in one place.
Return of confidence.
It's the better way to watch CSGO. Your exclusive ticket to esports. Get your Digital Pass now.
question marks around which storyline would prevail here, but it seems like the new coach, the new North American edition of MIBR is looking too strong for the international sensations within Mousesports. Vince wasn't the most compelling start there for Mousesports, but we do move on to Inferno. Do we feel like they can bounce back from this one? I can already sense from your body language you're not really feeling it.
Not really. I mean, CORSAIR just dropped 105 ADR.
It's not bad, is it? Not bad at all.
There's not much out of Fur also up there in terms of the figures.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, it was 16-6. Mousesports started that map 4-0 to the good.
That's so true, and that's some of these little tidbits like that. You just go to think like that's how good MIBR played. They were recovered from a 4-0 deficit to come back and win 16-6. That's pretty unbelievable. Well, there we have it. It is MIBR their pick now as we move on to Inferno. The 9th round's about to go live, and I think this is one of the more significant ones. Inferno is probably our third, I would say, in the list of important CT sides, so if you can get that first, it's definitely the advantage, and Tarek and Co look very comfortable indeed. This could be the final map of the evening, certainly our final best of 3. We have cash to see us out if we require. There's a new boy Snacks, and I hate to be the pessimist, Vince, but he really didn't catch our attention too much in that first map, did he?
No, he didn't. I think that's just being realistic. He had a pretty lackluster match, as did the rest of Mousesports. You can't necessarily just target him, but, you know, Sonny had his moments. He had 4 kills in the first pistol round that Mousesports picked up. Apart from that, he was off the boil. Didn't really have Oscar. You know, I wanted to highlight him because I thought he'd be an integral part of that Mousesports side. He barely did. What worries me about this second map is now we're going into a map where MIBR will be favourites. Now we go into a map that they picked and Mousesports aren't performing. This has got to be a recipe for disaster.
We'll see what happens here. Looks like we're live. MIBR indeed do start on the CT side here. Okay, gives the last minute adjustments here, and they'll have fun through exchange. We'll have a look at the buys. Presumably those P250s come out once again. Rops will be wielding it this time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're off, and we'll see what Mousesports can do here. Are they going to be heading towards a B site? I would say no. With 1 smoke available, you ideally need 2 to get towards B. To me, that looks like maybe a library smoke will be coming in towards the latter stages. But Fur, he investigates towards second middle and decides to fall back. So this will be a slow default by the looks of things from Mousesports, just waiting for that relentless aggression that was displayed on the first map.
Yeah, I think we're going to have similar sort of story from that T side of Mousesports, being very slow and methodical. Taking a site and trying to exploit it, but there's Oscar. Drive-by Glock headshot delivered to Fallen. Not going to open up B. There is a second player there in the form of Stewie 2K, and Fur's making a move round from CT spawn. They are bolstering up the B defense, but this leaves A very vulnerable. CORSAIR by himself. Tarek is also making inroads over on the B side.
Advantage for Mousesports here, but the action from Fur doesn't work out for them. Oscar, he takes yet another. That's going to be 2 frags to his name. Surely this is the Mousesports round. Remember, they had that 4-0 start on Mirage, but it all went so horribly wrong after that. They need this pistol just to stabilize himself, get themselves back in the game mentally, I would say, at this point. Time ticking away, but still a healthy amount. Stewie, though, so good with the USP. Vince, as he lights 2 of them up. He wants more as well. He ain't done just yet. Does more damage towards Snacks, but decides to fall back.
It's 2 clean kills. He's on 100 health still. And now they're going to have to rotate with not much time left. By the time they get to A side, they're not going to be able to re-rotate again. They are going all out on A, and CORSAIR is laid in wait in pit. He just has to peak at the right moment, and this round could be done. He's going to miss out on that chance, but bomb goes out into the open. CORSAIR picks up 2, and this should be the round. Snacks has got 1 back, but he's going to be facing off a 2v1. They're not going to push him just yet, though, Henry. They're going to wait together and look to funnel through the smoke.
They're trying to maximize their potential in the round. Yeah. Going through smoke is not a good idea. They've got a kit. They don't have to rush that much. Snacks can only be in a handful of positions. Now I know exactly where he is. He'll have to do something magnificent here with the Glock, and it's not going to happen for him. I would say I'm going to give the MVP of that round to Stewie. That recovery. Sure, Oscar was great to find them the lead, but Stewie, alone towards B, had 4 players in front of him, gets 2 clean kills, as you pointed out, shoves him in towards A, into an informed CORSAIR. That's amazing. And CORSAIR misses the first few shots, but he makes up for this second one. My God, Sonny got absolutely wrecked there. And Snacks, fair play to him, he got the bomb down, but didn't really seem like he was ever going to win that round. 1-0 MIBR.
And that second kill is much harder than it looks, because you not just to the left, but also elevation. You have to change your crosshair to the left and up. And it's not something you have to do too much in CS.
Just to note, Vince, while we're here, the bomb went down. They've decided to force buy here in the second round. That's not orthodox. It can work out. It takes you the idea is you don't want to fire any AK shots until you absolutely have to. You want to hide the fact you've got these weapons, and hopefully some keen MIBA players will just be pushing like Fur has been and trying to get stuck in with their SMGs, and then they find your deadly AK. So I like the idea. It's definitely a little bit avant-garde, but we'll see if it works out for Mousesports here.
So far, they haven't given this away. They haven't tried spraying through smoke or anything like that, so could still be a bit of a surprise once MIBR face off against it. They're peeking up through T steps. Stu with a free kill, backs away. It's on to Oscar. Of course, didn't go the full hog with the AK. That's just Rops and Sunny. Chris J waiting, hoping that one of the CTs pushes down Banana and gives a free frag away, but MIBR, they're too disciplined for that. They're going to wait in Banana instead. Gives them a lot of information. Playing the MP9 up close, then Stewie up on the perch.
Oh, it's perfect.
It's a really solid crossfire. Even if Stewie goes down, there's going to be Fallen who can clean up elsewhere. This is money in the back towards his orb. And he goes in for two. A clear-cut round for the CTs.
That's perfect CS right there, by the way. That doesn't get much better. That setup was so deadly. Not only is the half-full position good enough for Stewie to get a couple of frags, he sets up Fallen to perfection. He stays alive. He doesn't overcommit. They have no idea. They don't even think about checking the close-range corner, and why would they? It's such a nice little setup, and Fallen farms the cash, shuts them all down. That was the force buy, and now they've got absolutely nothing for round number 3.
I think that is worse. One of those AKs is now traded hands to Fallen. So it's just, in every way you look, that is a brutal outcome.
It couldn't have gone any worse for them. Didn't get a plant, barely got any damage off, and didn't really get close to a bomb site.
On this round, they have barely anything. 2 P250s, $600 of investment. That's all. Tarek playing bottom round in apps. Fur rattles off enough bullets downrange to deal with Snacks. There's not going to be any retaliation by Sunny for the time being. Going to chill in that. But I mean, in terms of this round, it's got to be a 3-0. It's not going to be going either way. A lot of damage has been inflicted by Sunny, but Fur's going to survive with 6.
Well, he's doing a very good job so far. Tarek getting stuck in there. Chris J and Rops to try and find a kill. The bomb going down. Rops so far removed. Oh, Vince, I haven't got a good feeling about this. This could be an absolute whitewash.
I'm definitely going to go alongside you there. The last 2 rounds, 0 CTs have died. Collectively, in 3 rounds, only 3 people have lost their life.
Let's see if we can work out what Yanko's coming up with there. This is the sort of round, if you're thinking like him, which I think I can, he'll be saying he wants to get aggressive, he wants to get stuck in, he wants to be applying this pressure. He doesn't want to let them get comfortable and run their strats. They've got SMGs and a Pharmacist here as well. We've got CORSAIR Orbs, he's got a good spawn. I feel like they're going to be going for something, maybe just go for that straight up banana control, try and push them back in towards CORSAIR. And we'll see how this goes for them.
A lot of utility's been expended, and it seems you have read their minds, Henry. They go for that banana control.
Yeah, well, that's the idea. You push him back with that smoke especially. It's a bit of a double-edged sword because they can just wait you out. If you don't get any frags from it, it can feel like a bit of a way. Sure, you've run the clock down, but essentially you've now got no utility to hold them off if they do come back towards B. But at this point, I feel like they know that, and they're not going to be relenting. They're going to be holding those positions like the logs and challenging for those frags instead of just giving up banana at this point.
Similar kind of idea with the setup too, with what we saw a couple of rounds prior with Fallen and Stewie. This time it's Stewie that's playing close range with Fallen at the back with his AK-47. Rops lining up the smoke towards Arches. And Sunny laid in wait in mid alongside Snacks. They do have pretty forward positions to quickly explode out into mid and try and take control of the situation. Fur has been smoked out. Can't see anything from Arches for the time being. Sunny's taking a bit of damage, but so is Fur, and Stewie's gone down. Banana control is starting to become more of a tenuous endeavor for MIBR, but Fallen is still there, and he will open up with the AK, can't get more than 1 kill, and B site should be right for the taking, but because Mousesports have taken their sweet time, they can't be sure there isn't a 3rd player on B, and that's why they're allowing Fur to get into position now.
There we go, Fur. This doesn't look really possible. Mousesports should be picking this one up. His teammates are so far removed, I don't think they're ready to go for this. You can see them waiting on the other side of the map. They've allowed Mousesports to have this one, so great stuff. Chris J opening up the fragging there, Sunny joining him. Fallen got one frag, but CORSAIR, he'll hold on to the AWP. Actually started around with it. And Mousesports are going to take this one. Just one player going down there, and they'll just opt to save the cash here. As you can see, they've got plenty of it. They've got a map in the bag already, Vince. They're not under pressure to find gambly rounds like this one. You don't have to force the issue every single time, and they're doing well. It's going to be 3-1, sure, but they're going to keep healthy amount of cash here, even more so with the 3 saved weapons. This is a nice calculated assessment, I think. Just hold on to the weapons, and sure, Mousesports keep 4 alive, but you can definitely get back into this. No problem at all.
We haven't had a lot of positives to say about Mousesports in this best of 3, but they did a really solid job of holding on to Banana and this third hit. That's going to give them some confidence.
We all like confidence.
We do, especially, you know, from a neutral perspective. We want to see a sick game here. We don't want to see another blowout.
We have had a lot of blowouts today.
We have.
Jason and Anders get all the brilliant games, the close 3-map epic affairs, the overtimes. They're loving it. To be fair, we've had some amazing prospects. We've had some great teams go toe-to-toe. Just hasn't been realized. And I guess one thing we can take away with the level of Counter-Strike from the winning teams has been so high, so you have to admire that as well. You're still fortunate to watch. It hasn't been bad games of CS. It's been a spectacle almost in how good some of these teams have been.
It's been tantalizing. It definitely builds up the hype for the rest of this tournament and then the major going forward.
Yeah, you don't want to peak too soon in Counter-Strike. You want to set the scene with these amazing teams and let them duke it out when we get to the playoffs. You know, that's the exciting thing.
It's a slow cooker of delicious CS. And so far, Mousesports have taken some mid-control once again. Fur's going to get smoked out. Is there going to be a slight gap in that? Not quite.
Not quite, no. Well, still holding on to his FAMAS. CORSAIR now with the double orb setup. In my opinion, I think that's one of the most powerful setups you can have on the CT side of Inferno. They've given Fallen absolutely everything a B. Holding it by himself, he gets the first kill, buys some time with the incendiary as well. That allows him to go around the corner a little bit further, hits the shot on Snacks. He takes damage himself, but does pull back safely.
Very important for him to dart back to safety, even with landing the shot. Because a flock of Ts would have been pushing their way on B, and he have gone down. 35 seconds, though. Rops just laid in wait in apps. That chicken actually is going to be really irritating because it's slightly skewing his vision down towards where CORSAIR currently is. Of course, if he gets rid of it, it's going to give his position away. 20 seconds. Now the bomb is making a move. Do they even have enough time for this? No, Mousesports are going to save. What am I watching?
It's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? You've got 4 players alive and it's like a deer caught in the headlights at that point. You're not really doing anything, are you? To be fair, Fallen played it to perfection. They were waiting to feel out that aggression. Do you know what I said, Mirage? When Fur's got in their head so much that he's been so aggressive, they're just waiting for that now. They thought it'd be guaranteed. At the moment he don't do anything, they've wasted so much time. They've been held off that utility. Fallen gets one, drops the incendiary. He hits another, and they just don't know what to do at that point. What can you do, really? Do you go around the corner? You've got no real utility left over. I guess at that point, they might have just made the call to say, well, we can't actually challenge the AWP we walk into B. The time's running out too low. Let's save the weaponry. At least we'll be able to fight in the next round, instead of getting completely reset.
Do you want a depressing statistic here, Henry?
Yeah.
We're in round 6. Collectively, Mousesports have got 5 kills.
Oh, that's an oof. Like that. Well, early days, Vince, I always say that. Try and look at the other side of the coin sometimes.
You can see that as a result of that, a couple of players from MIB are well over $7,000. So their bank balance is looking healthy. Chewy 2K, close range. Doesn't want to give this life away needlessly. That flashbang allows Chris J to just perforate into Banana, and he's got himself a second entry. This is exactly what Mousesports were hoping for. He could go in for a third, just falls before teeing off the shot with the AWP. That's what got him killed. But there's Oscar to pick up the pieces. And have to trade across to the AWP 4-on-2. And it doesn't seem like MIBR want any part of this.
There it is. Bomb will go down. Much better by Mousesports. And exactly that. Sure, they realized they couldn't win the previous round, but that's fine. They managed to pick up the pieces here and recover. 4-2. And so back in the game. Snacks for nice work there towards a quad, but CORSAIR will take him down in response. He's looking to survive the AWP. I think the money should be fine. We got, yes, 9K on Tariq and Fur. He's on $8,000. CORSAIR will have around that. Well, actually, he'll have just under 6K with the AWP in hand as well. So if he survives, that is. So that should be fine. We'll see whether he can hold on to it. Time ticks away, but Chris J with 2 more kills there. And they managed to avoid the harsh reset there. So that's Not too bad at all. I actually kind of respect the decision just to fall back and give in. CORSAIR will survive. Now Sports focusing there towards that B side of the map, trying to punish the banana aggression they've seen time and time again. CORSAIR in the middle, he's the in-game leader of this squad. Very experienced and pedigreed CS player in general. You could see them using the utility now to shut down Fallen. Good flashbangs, couldn't get back this time. Managed to get the double kill. Stewie is going to be baited in by Fallen. We've seen similar plays throughout this campaign, and especially down towards the bottom of Banana before Stewie is baiting in Fallen. The idea is Fallen takes a shot, hopefully a kill, falls back, they go chasing him, and Stewie's there to pick up any players that walk past him. But didn't get a chance to show that off, but that was the general idea. And now just got to calm down and distribute the wealth. Do they want to go for that double orb setup again? Looks like the answer is absolutely yes. They're going to do it. And it's going to be Fallen and CORSAIR once again. Checking with the scoreboard. 6 kills for Stewie at the top. CORSAIR 3 and 1. And Oscar the top 4. Mousesports with 3. So this game's just starting to warm up. It's good to see Mousesports at least keeping in arm's reach of MIBR. And now with Oscar on the AWP, I think things start to get a little bit more spicy now, Vince.
Yeah, I certainly hope that we're going to see more of what Oscar has to offer, because Mirage, he was ominously quiet for the bulk of the rounds. Snacks, another player that didn't exactly show the world what he was capable of in the previous map, and now Rops really having a quick walk through app. See if he any of these BTs, but there's Tarek with one. Oh, it's going to be CORSAIR that comes to the aid of Tarek and drops off the balcony. Excellent trading from MIBR, and just after Mousesports were getting ahead of steam, they've been completely silenced again.
I like the adjustment there from MIBR. That's a really difficult setup to make work. The double apartment approach there with the AWP. You miss one shot and the AKs can peek at the same time, take you both down. Is such a narrow corridor there, but they make it work perfectly. 3 kills so far from MIBR. Oscar and Sunny looking at 6s and 7s right now. You can see the money incredibly low for Chris J and Rops as they try to hold on here. If we can save the AWP and the AK, that would be ideal because you can still buy around that. If both of these players go down, they've got to really make it take another timeout and consider options. So I feel like with 35 seconds here, Vince, in a 5-on-2, you've got to just hold on to these weapons and head towards the T steps.
That is exactly what they're going to go for. It does allow them to rummage together maybe a master plan in the next round, see if they can cultivate a way back into this. Still early days. I mean, 2 rounds isn't bad on Inferno. Can easily bring their way back into this half. I think for me, the reason why I'm still a bit nervous for them is the way in which they lost Mirage. It's still in the back of my mind, and you definitely hope that it's not in the back of Mousesports' mind. They're fully focused on the task at hand.
Well, they will save the weaponry here, and you are absolutely right. The savage beating they took in the previous map was just something to behold. That man on your screen right now, CORSAIR, was the protagonist, I always say. He was the one leading the charge and getting it done every single round. Great to see him, like we said earlier, Nico as well. These household names are sometimes, maybe in the last few months, been a bit hit or miss, but today has been something quite special. I guess that's something we can take away from this. We've got the cast Nico, then CORSAIR, both looking stunning.
Simple had his moments yesterday. Another player up there with one of the best. Oh, Fallen. He's not going to miss that opportunity and goes in for seconds. And a smoke is going to skew his vision, though. But Chris J's knocked to 43.
And now they can just leave Fallen there. That smoke down at T steps. He knows it's nothing. There's no threat behind that. His teammate can actually just fall back. Stewie backing him up for now, just in case. Going to wait for the smoke to dissipate. This is looking incredibly good for MIBR. CORSAIR not going to miss that ever. Snacks goes down. Chris J's been tagged up. And he's got the AWP, but surely there's nothing available for him here. Well, there it is. Burt offers himself up, and at least they do get a frag in their favor.
Does bring the balance a little bit more in favor of Mousesports, but still stacked against them. Chris J. Let's see if he can maybe find Fallen. Peeking a little bit too long, overstaying his welcome. Not this time. More disciplined approach from MIBR. Just shy of 45 seconds left, and Mousesports will start to make a move. They're going to be setting up for some smokes. Onto B site, they've got a Molotov, a couple flashes now remaining. Fallen's going to throw down his own smoke, and a HE just to stop the oncoming terrorists, but they're not quite there just yet. Half a minute left, they're going to have to push through this smoke. And with Fallen and Stewie already in position, and a third coming up, it's looking incredibly rough right now for the terrorists. And Fallen pushes through the smoke, takes the fight to Mousesports. Chris J, in credit to him, is standing tall and delivering some shots But that miss has probably just cost him the round.
Yeah, if he hits that, he really does have a fighting chance. And I don't think he spotted the bomb up there just yet. It's not going to matter either way. He will go down. And Jankos is like, you're just toying them, bro. You're just toying with them. You're making them look like fools. He just pushed through the smoke of a USB and just took another one down. Just perfect play from Fallen. This is the Fallen everyone got to know and love. I have to say, 2018 has probably been his most disappointing career in terms of when he made it to being a household name. But he's had a resurgence, so give him that in the last month. This has been something quite special. And now it has to be the eco from Mouse Sports. The money finally runs out.
Smacks his time, catches a grenade, plumb to the jaw. Fur, we saw some of these shenanigans on Mirage, and gonna push mid again. This time, though, will be caught by Sunny. Rops takes a brunt of damage too. But it just seems like even when MIBR concede a player, they're still in great shape. They're never completely out of these rounds.
I agree. Mouse Sports, though, definitely capable of winning these sort of rounds. Got some great pistol players. Great talent, generally speaking, but not all of it being realized as of today. Both these teams 1-0 coming into this matchup, and MIBR have looked at the stronger team. Mirage was very convincing, and this one, although closer, Mouse Sports at least on the T side of Inferno, it's fine. Early days. We've had some very competitive gun rounds here, and they've got 2 on the board after losing the pistol and suffering the 3-0 with a bit of a risky second round force buy. I don't hate that call. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you do lose it that round, it does feel a bit gutting. It's like, I could have had AKs across the board in the third and really had a chance. But either way, 30 seconds, great incendiary by CORSAIR. That really does throw a spanner in the works.
That's a red light in the eyes of Mouse Sports, who are looking to go all guns blazing and waterfall out of action. CORSAIR has already picked up one. Gets a second as well, and even though he falls down, they're going to be able to pick up the AWP. MIBR romp to a 7-2 lead.
They certainly are, Vince. They certainly are. Well, that's the eco out the way, at least. Mouse Sports now with the AK-47s. I don't think Oscar had enough. He did have enough for the AWP, I take it back, but he obviously only had 4,800, so that's not really enough to do much with, especially the T side of the AWP. It's so vulnerable to grenades, as we all know. It's the CT side of the HEs flying in everywhere. You need armor to go with it, really. It's just too dangerous otherwise. That really is a glass cannon. As we get to round number 10 here, MIBR looking more and more comfortable as the rounds go on. Fallen once again trying to set up towards B, but going to be sent packing by the Molotov at the very start, and he will try and regain control as CORSAIR detects movement towards middle.
Third did see a couple of pixels just before the smoke fully plumed. The flashes are going to deter him from staying any longer. No push from Mouse Sports will give him a little bit more confidence to stick around. CORSAIR on Arch, they have every conceivable angle covered, and now they have just bolstered up the A defense with a 4th player, which is Stewie. Fur doesn't need any backup. He's good to find frags himself, but he will be on the receiving end of a battering courtesy of Rops, who is now making a move into Apps just outside. I think CORSAIR can maybe see a pixel protruding around the corner. Not quite just yet, though.
Difficult situation for CORSAIR. That is not an ideal angle, as you've seen, but he does set up Tarek perfectly. 2 kills come in, dinks another as well, but Oscar somehow, I was about to say, takes over the A side, but Stewie was waiting in the doldrums. Fallen spotted him, and that's going to be Sunny going down. Decent attempt there from Mouse Sports, good execution, and they obviously applied a lot of pressure towards CORSAIR, but that was almost detrimental to him until the end because they focused so much on that AWP shot that Tarek had a shooting gallery, managed to get 2.5 kills, and then they could finish things off in pretty convincing fashion. Loss bonus currently sits at 4th stage, no bomb going down, that's not enough to buy, but they can justify pistols and armor here. Maybe something like an execution towards A. Looks like they may be coming in, get the apartment, smokes down, flash out, see if you can get a farm.
It certainly is the mission, but it does seem like it has an air of impossible around it. The way MIBR have been holding the sights. This kind of composition of weaponry, teams may even push banana, but they have enough smokes to set play onto A, or at least feel out the opposition and maybe fall back to B later on. It does again seem of a bit of desperation, hoping that MIBR makes some mistakes. And they've typically been very passive on their defenses. Other than Fur pushing down mid one round, They've always been bulked up at the back of the sites. 4 plays again. We'll greet them on A with Stu taking Archers. CORSAIR is going to claim the first kill and break the deadlock in round 11. And Stewie 2K should be just after him. A free kill.
Oh, no!
He switched too early. You've got to finish off your meal first before you go to the dessert. But it doesn't seem like it's going to matter that much because Rops and Sunny, all that remain, and they're both tagged. Sunny only on 12 health.
He thought that was such a lock-in of a fact, didn't he? I guess it looked like it to me, but like you said, doesn't really matter too much. The money, not actually amazing for MIBR, so it is significant that he doesn't survive this round when he definitely should have done. That was his kill. He positioned himself perfectly. He read them well, but Sunny, maybe one more kill's available here, but the round certainly not. He hasn't got the HP or positional control to do much with this, but he is going to try and just sniff someone else out. Is there anyone waiting on the bomb side? There's 2 players towards Library. One coming behind him, I believe. Yes, that's going to be first, so he'll take him down. Oh, he's heard him. That's Sunny. CORSAIR will get the killing blow. 9-2 now, Vincent. That was the partial buy. So we're going to have the full buy going into round number 12 here. Yanko just discussing what he anticipates might be coming at this point, and let's see what they've got at their sleeves. Remember, this iteration of MIBR have not lost a single map yet.
That is correct, yes. Yeah. And again, we said this was their first proper, true test of playing some of the best teams in the world. And I've got to say, so far, they're passing it with flying colours. 3
players towards Mono. Nick 4, they're going for the airstrike. Is it going to cause any damage yet? Nothing just yet, but I like the idea, just trying to mix things up, anticipating maybe a rush coming in from Mousesports, a desperation play perhaps. But they've held strong, they're not giving in. That's a good grenade there, could do some damage, not quite, doesn't quite reach the T-steps. But at least they have banana control. You can see they've got some tricks up their sleeve. They did say they had a 9-day boot camp before the event, Zotac Masters. Stewie gets himself in towards logs, and it's another bait and switch approach with Fallen getting in towards the half wall once again. Just looking into the wall there to dodge any flashes for anyone who's not aware.
Of course, we have seen this tactic already deployed in rounds prior, but because MIBR have been so incredibly back and forth and very hard to predict, Mousesports can't take anything for granted. But Fallen has been caught by Oscar. Stewie 2K needs to step up. He needs to have crazy impact. He's got one at the very least and stalled the push for the time being. And Mousesports could very well wrap back onto A, assuming the over-rotation will come into play.
That was actually very well done by Oscar there. Close range, high pressure situation. They read it well. You can see they know Fallen's tendencies. They threw the flash to actually bait him out. Oscar's just waiting for him to jump up the half wall there. But still, a lot to do here, Vince, and they don't really have the time. 25 seconds, and who's waiting for the other side? I'd assume it's Fur, and indeed it is. He only has 1 HE grenade, though. I don't see him getting more than 1. This has to be a Mousesports round. Surely.
You'd really hope so for the overall score as well, Henry. They're not going to get many better opportunities than this. Fur is using the pillar to try and shield him from the oncoming spray of bullets, but it's not going to keep him alive. CORSAIR not far off and landing a shot through the smoke. Has been tagged down to 80. Although Tarakaz came in with a kill, if he can get this second one onto Rops, then this is back on. Not going to happen, and CORSAIR will try and peace out, but he could be caught in the process. And indeed, Snacks will be his end.
Third round from Mousesports, well handled, well contained towards the end as well. The only problem that could have happened there, Vince, is when the time was running so low, you saw that adjustment from Fur. He was just looking at the timer. There was 10 seconds remaining before the plant happened, right? So if he could just stay alive, kill that one player, just in the nick of time to drop the bomb, that would have been enough. And that's what he's going for there, but it wasn't meant to be. Mousesports too efficient on their approach. And we'll see whether MIBR can bounce back here. Chris J, no stranger to the bottom of Banana here. He's waiting to see if the flames engulf his feet, but he looks like he's fine, doesn't have to waste the smoke just yet.
A small, minor victory. They'll be hoping to build off that previous round. Saw them pick up their third. That's gone down alongside Rops. And wouldn't you know it, once again, it's 1 step forward, Henry, and 2 steps backwards.
Yeah, and it's the double M4 setup this time in the apartments. They really are quite brutal in that area. It's a quite caged Mousesports here, not quite as much flair as we're used to seeing. Flashbang had to come in, it's going to set his teammate up. Presumably Stewie with him. Flashbang's deployed. Fallen wants to take all the aggro he can, but Stewie pounces and takes another down.
Just aggression proving to be the nemesis of Mousesports in this round. And they're stuck. They're pincered in. Tarek is watching the retreat on T-steps. Banana is going to be their graveyard. Sunny, next player to fall, leaving Chris J in a 1-on-4. Has picked up one. That smoke is going to buy him up a little bit of time to now make a move back, but there is Tarek. Forever the look.
Absolutely so. 3 kills for him. There's a nice little shot, some inception there of the phones. I wonder how long they planned that one for, but it was quite nice. Well done. And we'll get into this replay of what was going on in the apartments. Tarek, just a little drone there, isn't he? Just flipping around, getting the headshots, awareness, good communication. I think that was one of the problems this team had before when Stewie first came in. Obviously, communication. They're speaking not Portuguese anymore, it's obviously English. And it feels like Yanka coming in and having another North American presence, it feels like that's kind of stabilized things. They're looking very sharp right now, working together effectively. I don't think we'll hear communication being an issue for this team ever again. It seems like it's much better than it was when Bolts was in the roster, of course.
Absolutely, that's a huge benefit and plus for MIBR, and you're seeing some of that being reaped right now, some of those rewards. 10-3. Mouse Sports will be back into another buy after their tactical timeout, but it's going to include only 2 AKs and 3 pistols. They do have 3 smokes. That's enough to execute on either side, but I mean, they are scraping the very bottom of the barrel right now. Needs to be some success right off the bat.
It's definitely not ideal, but it's just one of those situations where we need these last 2 rounds. There's no 2 ways about it. Can't let them have the 11-4. We need 5 rounds in the board.
5 plus the pistol. The game's well and truly back on. Fur is going to take away the bomb and take away Sunny and Rops's lives. That could even be a 3rd. He doesn't need to peek this. He can just play passively now. Indeed, he has the same thought. Chris J's managed to get onto the site somehow, but it's not going to yield anything.
This is just brutal now, isn't it? Fur back to his old winning ways. The aggression is calculated. You see the discipline there as well when he had to turn on a plate. He didn't chase after it. He's now thinking how he can win rounds, and that's quite cool to see. Like, Inferno is such a problem for SK, especially with they couldn't work out if they wanted to be an aggressive team, a timid team, or they actually were showing the worst of both worlds in that respect, and Fallen just couldn't handle all the responsibility and trying to babysit and micromanage every player on the map here. Now Yanka can look over them. It seems like they've got a grasp on that, at least. Like, it's looking much better, I think. Mousesports, unfortunately, this is pretty grim. Final round, you're 11-3 down. You only have pistols for round number 15.
So a question for you, Henry. Do you think this is a case of MIBR just playing that good, or are Mouse Sports off the boil a little bit here too?
I think in this particular case, I think Mouse Sports look out of their depth. They look rattled. They look like they can't contain what MIBR are presenting right now. As soon as they start adjusting, MIBR are changing things up completely. Like we saw that 4-man nuke strike towards Banana. They've got dynamic strategies right now, but as we're talking, we can't see Mousesports getting back into this. It's a 3 versus 2. Sure, Sunny has no HP, but the bomb's planted and the CTs are pretty far removed.
They sure are, but last round of the half, they're going to go for this. They do have a couple smokes, Incendiary, Fur and Fallen. Often the last 2 remaining players on Mirage 2 as the B players. But Oscar is going to make sure that Fallen will play no further part in this endeavor. First to pick up the mantle, does land the frag, but he's lost 88 health in that trade, and with him will go the round. So Mouse Sports at least get 4 rounds.
Let's see what Stunner's got to say on the show floor.
Let me tell you what I got to say, Vince. It goes about this easily. MIBR, they're running this show right now. It's not even a question at hand. In fact, you can hear just a little bit what's going on here behind the scenes. Yanko is very animate and very much ready to take over this second half. I do believe I should tell you to get involved in social media at home using hashtag DHMasters. That's what I've been doing all weekend. You should probably do it too. In fact, we should probably get back into this game before I spill the beans on anything else.
Yeah, not for the first time, I'd imagine. Well, we'll get into the second half, and we'll see whether MIBR can keep up this amazing half they've had so far. To be fair, the Mousesports taking that last round, Vince, is actually very beneficial. 11-4 on the T side. You win the pistol. I know we've been saying a lot of this all day. It hasn't really rung true. But if you can win the pistol, they're definitely a team capable, but they just look a little bit out of their depth. This is not Mousesports we know and love. This is not the Mousesports we saw at the beginning of 2018. This is the Mousesports a little bit in peril right now. You can see they're not really sure what their strengths are and how to recover from certain situations. It's a bit of a shocking scene, but the fist bumps come through. Yeah, okay, I think he knows this one's in the bag. We'll see what happens, though.
Snacks hasn't bought anything. There we go. He is going to go for some Kevlar. Thinking, we're going to have something out of the ordinary. I suppose, in a sense, with 0 utility and no kits, just full Kevlar, it's something that you don't see every single game from the CT's perspective. Sunny's going to go straight down mid, though, but he's by himself. And somehow, survives with 67 health. I was sure he was going to get wrecked almost instantly. Rops around the back, though, finds Fur, who did go in and silence Snacks just beforehand. Stewie answers back, and MIBR have the player advantage. Additionally, they have banana control. But here in lays Sunny.
Oh my god, he's ready to go, isn't he? That's a lovely shot towards Fallen, but still a lot of work to do here. These shots have to connect. Drops. He does get one of them, but such low HP for the remaining. Oscar, it might not matter, Vince. He does manage to hit a wonderful shot towards the T-steps there, and the race is on, because Stewie, he knows he can get the bomb down now. He can absolutely be... He didn't even have to use that smoke, in my opinion, knowing his position. I guess maybe if he knifed out all the way, he'd get there just as he's planting right now. But still, this is a huge advantage. I'd be so surprised if Oscar can win this.
I mean, Oscar has 15 health. Stewie still has a molly, which he's just thrown out. Oh, no, waste so much time. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to see how Oscar pulls this off. Crazy things have happened. But Stewie, stand at the back of New Box.
He could be anywhere.
Exactly. And that's going to be in the back of his mind. But all he has to do is land one bullet, and that's going to be it. Straight to the head in the temple. MIBR take the second pistol, and with it, a lot of the hopes of Mouse Sports.
Absolutely so. Yeah, spot on there. And this was aggressive approach from Mouse Sports. I like the fact they're not looking so cagey more. They're willing to take these fights at the start, and it was working out for them. Came down to the 1 versus 1, but unfortunately the positional control Stewie had of that situation, the intel he got from his teammate going down was just way too much, and the low HP of Oscar, he couldn't really do much. The smoke and CD spawn, the Molotov towards the banana area, it was too much. It was perfectly played by Stu. Actually a very cerebral, smart player. As the guy put out the desk, he is developing and evolving as the months go by. He's not just the guy running through smokes getting crazy headshots anymore. You saw how he operated in that clutch. Now it's almost perfectly played.
Yeah, hats off to Stewie and the rest of MIBR for how they've been playing so far in this BO3. Fur has been tagged, courtesy of Oscar's scout. And they are going to decide a fast play is the best remedy. As Oscar finishes off what he starts onto Fur. Flashbang stops the push on Arch, only for a few more moments. Snacks has been smoked out. There is a triple threat, though, on the A site of Mouse Sports players. And these were all upgraded pistols, so you definitely wouldn't say that MIBR are certain to take this round just yet.
We'll see. Fire does go down, you're right. That scout has been such a talking point today, the scout. What a weapon that's been this event. Been some crazy sequences with it. Either way, 5 versus 4. And they might be able to actually take this one away. Great stuff for the CZ from Sunny. Now they have a significant advantage, and that AK is dropped in no man's land.
It has, and MIBR are going to make sure they at least deny the AK being picked up by Sunny. They've sent an extra player over towards B, so it's going to be a 3-on-2. Even though MIBR are far behind in terms of manpower, they're going to have the advantage in this confrontation. But Rops bides his time, waits for the opportune moment to strike with a 5-7. Now Sunny, last line of defense, has already gone through most of his magazine. There's going to be enough time for the plant, I think, just about. But they're going to get the kill to deny it from Stack. And MIBR let that chance go begging.
That was the round to close this game out completely. That was the end of it. But it was a scout shot at the start, the CZ play from Sunny, and you can see the pandemonium ensuing there as he went towards the A side. They did have enough time to plant. It's just like when he went in for such an open plant and I saw the CTs coming around, it's just like, oh yes, there's no way this is working out for them. And down they go. Did they force buy into this? They certainly did. MIBR will be going for broke as they have the AK of CORSAIR and pistols all around him. Oh, that shot from the scout, I believe.
Managed to pick up 3 or 4 kills in that last round, so they know that Mouse Sports are on the brink of collapse once again. This Jake. Spots. Stewart on the steps. Sunny. A spray not quite on point. Did get a kill and a bit of damage to CORSAIR, but they still have the AK under control. And in the hands of this man, it could be the determining factor. Again, one player. Going to be Chris J on the B site.
Oh, it's very tense. 1 minute remaining. They have got the mid control. Oscar and Robswo holding a defensive crossfire. Snacks patrolling the arch. Just leaves Chris J alone. You see the significant HP advantage for the CTs here, and Oscar trying to capitalize upon it with the MAC-10. Is there any other weaponry for him here? Looking for some intel. Going around the corner. Could get more than he's bargaining for. If he does get the intel, but at least doesn't get dinked in the process, can fall back and a nice smoke deployed. With 35 seconds, that's going to funnel them up quad.
Exactly. That was worthwhile because he knows they have to push A now. Oscar going to try and use the smoke and savagely dispatches of Stewie 2K. Could be going in for more, but CORSAIR with 2. Dropped to 44, but he's got 3 kills already in this round, leaving Snacks and Chris J to try and clean up the mess that has become the A-bomb site. They're going to look to make a move on together, both from the Archer's side. CORSAIR, not entirely sure as to where they currently reside, so he's going to peek up into apps. And meanwhile, his tag team partner of Tarek is watching mid. But now CORSAIR is about to get tried and tested. Tarek in the meanwhile is going to open up. This is going to turn the attention of the 2 CTs towards his position. And CORSAIR, with the kill, should have got this round under wraps. There's no way that Chris J can clutch. MIBR have completely devastated Mousesports once again.
You can see what it means to them as well. Mousesports look gutted. I'm not even sure that incendiary was designed for towards the end. You see the one landed in the pit.
Yeah.
Absolutely useless. So where are they hoping that's going to...
It was too deep, wasn't it?
Way too deep. Didn't even throw it like you could bounce it off the broken wall area, at least flush that bit out. Like when it goes just into almost nothing. I'm not sure they're hoping to achieve with that one. But CORSAIR, you saw why Tarek is a bit more active in that sort of situation. 2-on-2, he's trying to bait CORSAIR in, take the aggro before they can get to it. But before I can even finish my sentence, CORSAIR, 3 more. Rack them up, boys. That's the round over. Can't even get a few words out before that one's done. Okay then. 14-5. Money still in an okay position. They can get a buy of sorts, but Mousesports now really are coming to the last few chances in this best of 3. 2-0 looking almost inevitable now.
Just running into CORSAIR's crosshair. Do not advise to do that.
Yeah, he's got 19 kills. He's had an absolutely fantastic day.
Double ops in play for Mousesports. Double glass cannons.
If you remember when SK used to insist on playing this map, when they were in that slump, not so long ago, a couple of months ago, right, they always chose Inferno in their vetoes, right? I couldn't get my head around it because I thought they were actually pretty garbage on it. Like, the way they were playing, it seemed like it was only CORSAIR that would save them in certain situations. Sure, he's playing very well right now, but the whole team as well. They look like they've got a game plan finally in this map. It's not just so, hopefully we'll win a few CZ rounds and then we'll get some defaults going, it'll be fine. They actually look like they've got control of the scenario right now, which is good to see. So, this is it now. And Mousesports cannot recover from a 15-5. They need the rest of these rounds to start building us some momentum. Double up setup though. Let's see if they can get that into a promising position. Chris J and Snacks hold towards B. And SK, one thing I will say about them, that one few things they were good at back in even a few months ago is the B executions were so strong. They had great Molotovs, great smokes, and good synergy when they went into the site.
It's looking like this double glass cannon AWP setup may very well shatter momentarily as MIBR with a finger on the pulse of B. Looking like they're going to go for the jugular. Incendiary has been thrown out. Chris J is going to open up with the first one. The Molotov is going to force CORSAIR's hand into the smoke, but he hasn't been spotted just yet, and Fur is doing damage. Chris J falls at the back of the site, funneling the 2 remaining CTs through into the ruin side. And now Fur can force his way to the back of the site. It's going to be a smoke on the CT side. Now the CTs simply can't do too much. They have to wait for the cavalry to arrive, and they only have 1 flashbang remaining.
They have no kit either, Vince. This is looking like a nightmare. How do you even get through? There's been 3 smokes now in succession towards that CT area. They'll have to boost up with the flashbang, but Fur is ready for it. Not known to be an AWP. I can't hit the shot, but CORSAIR should be able to finish this one off. It's going to be close, though. 1 versus 1 now. Can he do it? Remember, no kit. As long as he just stays alive and avoids the headshot, he'll be fine, but I don't think he can defuse this bomb regardless. What do you think?
It's going to be very close. I think he may have just missed out.
Oh. Okay, Vince, you need to work on your bomb defusal skills there.
I suck. What can I say?
To be fair, I was with you. I was like, oh, God, maybe I built that up too much. Obviously, he hasn't got it. But then he actually does. That's kind of sick. Well, there we go. 14-6, and 1 player survives. That was Oscar. Somehow keeps him in the game. It felt like that was absolutely done for. That was over. But no, they live to tell the tale. If they come back and win the map now, that would be something epic. Let's see if they can do it.
It would be one of the most intense comebacks probably of CS history. Or definitely up there. The heavy, aggressive play from MIBR. Ruthless aggression, straight up Banana. Nearly backfires. A carpet bomb lands all over Banana. And it does get rid of Fur and knock CORSAIR down to about half health, but they do get the revenge kill.
4, plenty of time. Smoke deployed towards B to buy a little bit of time and suggest they might be heading back there. Fallen, CORSAIR and Tarek start to make their way towards the apartment right now. Stewie joins the crew. Oscar and Robs, one of the AWP, the other with the FAMAS, have to hold off 4 of the MIBR players. This looks like one of those classic setups where they'll smoke towards Library, 3 flashbangs out towards the A side, especially off the chimney. And Oscar might be out of luck here. Oh, that smoke could be... Oh, does he not want to throw it? If he threw that smoke, Vince, he was in actually a great position to do massive damage here. He will get one, but surely he might be going down here. He's now stuck in a horrible position, but still finding the frags. Rob's keeping the dream alive here.
Smoke used to deliver Sanctuary, and Robs is going to turn the tides, turn the table on MIBR, leaving Stewie. And who else to push the smoke? Did he make a little bit of noise there? No.
Oh, my God.
And he's going to wait. He's going to bide his time and see if any more CT show their hand.
God, this is sick.
There's no reason for Robs to turn around. Stewie is playing this so intelligently. If he gets a second kill or a second player lines up, it could be so huge, but the time is starting to dwindle, so he has to pull the trigger on Robs. I love the idea. Just ran out of time.
That would have been one of the most epic plays if he pulled that one off. Robs probably didn't know what the hell happened there. But finally, they've broken the money of MIBR. This was fantastic from Robs, and I take it all back. Had he have thrown that smoke, he wouldn't have been able to defend himself on the Molotov, perhaps, and maybe he didn't get 3 or 4 kills. So there was some method behind the man. I thought, if he's throwing the smoke towards Apps, he's done this, he's locked him out. But he manages to get all the kills, and it worked out perfectly. And we'll have Deagles and some CZs here, and sometimes these are the rounds that work out best for the Brazilians. We'll see what happens there. They avoid the grenades. 14-7, one more for series point. But all of a sudden, Mousesports will come online, seemingly.
They're always a team that have it within them to fight back. They're a very tenacious bunch of players. Oscar not going to miss on a second chance of asking onto Stewie. Will pummel him into the dirt as Mousesports look for an 8th round. It would still be a 6-round deficit if they can't attain it. And Sonny is about to get tested, potentially off 2 or 3 terrorists. Let's have an M4 though. And the A4. So 10 more bullets opposed to the A1S. He's not required though. Oscar comes in to help him out, and there's the spray. A flawless round, a single point of health lost. That's going to build the confidence of Mousesports, but it was against pistols. Now they're going to be up against a full buy.
They certainly will. Timeout from Fallen. Just a chance to recalibrate. That 1 versus 1 against Oscar. CORSAIR pulled that one off. I'd say this game would be over by now. But plenty of rounds to work with him. And just use the timeout to discuss their options, how they can close this one out, which way they want to do it. And they'll go into round number 23. No all purchase just yet. Oscar will have his. We'll look at the scoreboard while we're here. Oscar at the very top with 15 and 16. Actually, pretty decent fragging now from Sonny and Robs as well. They're both from 13. The top of MIBR is going to be CORSAIR of 21, but Ephem's Tarek of 20. The bottom has Fallen 11 and 13, but he's had some very high impact moments, so I'm not going to read too much into that. As we go into the next round, there is no AWP on the T side. MIBR going for a standard 5 rifle setup, and 3 players aggressively pushing in towards B. The challenge, what is commonly known, especially from Chris J. He'll be taken down, but he does get a dink in. Sonny surely going to try and reply, but might not have to with a great HE thrown by Snacks.
As a result of those mollies being tossed down, he couldn't help Chris J out earlier. Isolated from his teammate. As you highlighted, though, the grenade did finish off the rest. 1-for-1 trade. Not a terrible outcome for MIBR. That'd be a 2-2 formation, 2B2A for Mousesports. They do have a couple players with a smoke and incendiary, but you're looking at Sonny there. No grenades left. That could be a bit of an issue. They've sent a 3rd player over to A. That is going to be Sonny. As MIBR posture just outside of second mid. Still time on the board to allow them to pick and choose where they want to try and push.
Equal trades and time ticking away. 3 players hold strong on the A bomb site here. A lot of responsibility given to Snacks there, alone on the B site. And that's where they're falling back to as well. He needs to be very careful in terms of his utility. He's got 1 incendiary. That could be enough. He's already deployed his smoke, and Tarek will try and sell whatever he can here. It's a lovely little smoke there on top of the hay bales. It gives him a bit of a one-way effect if he wants to go out there. And he's going to keep 3 towards A so far, Vince. This is actually looking wonderful for him. He's going to make noise now and try and catch him in transition. And he's got the first, get the frag. Oh my God, Tarek shuts down the A side. The spray control from hell as they try and take him down, but he's just too powerful in that position. Oscar now can't do anything about this. It's a pretty serious point.
I can see his head was spinning too. He actually second-guessed himself twice. Not sure where Tarek was and how many players were with him. Excellent work by Tarek, who had a slow start to Mirage, but he's 23-10 now. 7 match points for
This
MIBR.
was sick.
That second kill is so disgusting.
Yeah, that's really cool. That was perfect. What a great call from Fallen. Mid-round calls as well. Just knowing that they've got this great awareness and they've shown enough towards A at that point. Tarek can go sell with that nice smoke, get out there. His teammates already find a kill towards B. He just mows them down on the A site. There's really great CS being displayed here. And they've got double orbs there now from Mouse Sports. But 1 round, 1 more mistake will give it all up. It's up to Chris J and Oscar to try and carry them through this round.
And again, they're both glass cannons. We've seen this a few rounds beforehand. It means they forfeit any kind of utility. They have no kits across the board, but Chris J is going to put that bullet center mass and send Stewie 2K into round 25. Although he may not need to come back if MIBR can clutch this round out now. It would maintain their unbeaten streak under the puppet master of Yanko. Sports aren't out of this just yet, though. A hail of grenades land onto quad. Molotovs accompanied by first push. Not too much information gathered, though, by either team. Bit of a stalemate locking in. Sonny having a quick look through on the Archer's side. This smoke is about to disappear. Will he get the timing onto the team? I think he's just starting to look around now as Rops will drop the hammer onto Fur. Just under 30 seconds, they've got to push straight onto the site. They've got to try and get this bomb down. MIB, otherwise they are going to see another round. And Stewie will be called upon once more. Tarek's going to land the headshot though, but there goes Sonny. Now Oscar, close range with the AWP. Maybe called on to get the final frag. Misses out on that chance and Tarek goes in. He's already been pulling out kills left, right and center. And he's put himself in the debate for potentially taking this round.
Ooh,
a ridiculous
what?
clutch! And he's landed onto Chris J. Mouse Sports are somehow letting this slip. And Tarek's done it! An unreal play! The Content King strikes again.
That was unbelievable. I'm out of my chair, Vince. I didn't think he had it in him. So sick from Tarek. What a showing at the end. Really put a bow on it. That was exciting. Sure, they're one-sided games, but you can't deny they had its moments, right? That was absolutely wonderful, and Tarek really did send them home. 3 versus 1. That shot for me really got me up in the air. Great stuff. Great games. That's going to be the last map of the evening, but MIBR and FaZe, they're definitely in the conversation to make it to the finals here. They're looking incredibly strong right now.
I'd say they've looked the strongest team with Astralis bowing out against North. I think the two of them have looked really good. Na'Vi had their banana peel moment against Ghost, I believe it was. So, yeah, I think that's a fair statement to make of what we've seen today. Obviously, it's 1 best of 3. You can't judge everything off it, but they've looked really solid.
But just the level we've seen from these people against really good teams as well, like it's been phenomenal. We've got some of the best players performing at a world-class level. Nico earlier and Cold Zero there putting on a clinic. I'm sure the boys over the analyst desk have some fun with this one.
It's just fun hearing you have fun, Henry. You know, when you get to see the likes of Nico do his thing, Tarek winning clutches like that. We even said, right, I was like, why has he picked up the AWP? He's just doing it for YouTube. And of course, slaps someone in library. Just swagger all over the server.
Just wanted to prove you won.
He did. It's just to forsake me, he does it for the content. Fantastic stuff, though, and MIBR are going to be in the playoffs. A nice, convincing win for them, and not necessarily what we anticipated. Sure, all predictions went MIBR's way, but I don't know if we could have foretold just how much of a domination it was going to be.
But I think Vince said it well. It's only a best of 3, so we have to be a little bit careful with our conclusions.
Yes,
but to me,
you're right.
I had these vibes of old SK domination, like the way they would always pick up the kills, always win the clutches, always go for double, triple kill, falling, going through smokes. It just looked like the old SK. It's just a best of 3, but I like what I've seen.
Yeah, Jacob, what do you make of Jason's tweet, actually? I just caught a glimpse of it before we came in. He said that It's obviously way too early to tell, but it feels like they're much more willing to slow the game down. They weren't forcing fights as much as they'd seen in the previous series.
Yeah, I think they found some ground to stand on right now.
Right.
I think Ryan K came into this team and he instantly went out in the public and saying we need to get back to the winning way. We need to get back to the old SK way of playing Counter-Strike, and we need to work hard. And so far, you know, the only team that we know of who has had an 8-day bootcamp is SK Gaming, right? So they've been putting in the hard work and it's showing off now. So to me, it feels like they've found this somewhat of a stable ground to stand on, and it's already delivering now. Obviously, it's still group stages, too early to tell, but it looks really good so far.
And talking of showing off, I want to show off right now by saying, I know this guy. We do have an interview standing by, and I believe we've managed to grab an interview with the coach of MIBR. Hey, handsome.
Oh, God.
Hey, guys.
You miss me?
This looks so weird now. Like, I'm used to being over there and like talking to this guy.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I mean, you get to wear a t-shirt, so that's cool. I mean,
that's amazing. It's kind of why I switched.
Yeah, that's exclusively why. But now, a couple of questions, so many. One of the things that was interesting was our analysts were talking about it in the green room, and I'm sure Maniac will probably describe it better, but about something to do with...
City side Mirage.
That's the badger.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but looking at the way you were playing the City side on Mirage, it really felt like the old SK dominating time. I mean, not playing middle that much, and then CORSAIR gambling on sides, fur pushing from time to time. So was it like an intentional effort, or how did you come to that?
Yeah, I think for us, it's just most of the time playing our game, right? And that's what these guys are known for. You look from opponent to opponent, you make some little tweaks depending on how their play style is, right? With Mouse Sports, we kind of expected them to go for a lot of execute, so we felt like there was no need to really go mid too much. I always tell the players, it's not telling them too much, you know. Someone like Fur, he has such a good feeling for the game. He's very good in those pushes, makes great timing for himself. So you just let him do his own thing. You try to support him as much as you can so that it's not just him by himself, and you kind of create around that, and I think once they start feeling the flow of the game in the round, they can make very good calls on the fly.
A question we raised in the pre-match was about finding space for so many big names. Like, we basically looked down the list, we were like, right, Stewie, Tarek, Fur. All of those need space. I mean, how does the allocation going in your end?
I think for me, you know, there's priority when it comes to that, to making plays on the CT side. For me, it's Fur as the primary rifler who can go for things like that, and then Fallen because he is the opper. But a lot of time it depends who plays which spot, right? On Inferno you see Stewie a lot being in those fights because he plays B, and on Banana you have a lot of aggression like that. In this game you saw Tarek and Fur be a bit aggressive towards apps. Those are all things that, you know, as the game starts unfolding, you look at, okay, where do we think the weak spot is? What do we think if we deny them that they're going to struggle? So I agree, sometimes you need to tell a guy, hey, play passive here, we're aggressing on the other side. But these guys, they don't have any sort of an ego, you know, that someone's going to get mad over it. It's just whatever's best for the team in that particular round. Everyone's on the same page, and that's how we do it.
It's already clear now to a lot of us that you're obviously playing better than you did before the team got you, and there's we described it as more of a ground to stand on for you guys. How much of your philosophy within Counter-Strike has been implemented into MIBR, and is there more to come?
I think for me, joining this team, it's not that much about, you know, Counter-Strike, like stuff on the server. These guys obviously know the game. You have 5 major champions. You have a guy like Fallen, you know, who makes amazing call early, at the beginning of the round and especially mid-round. So for me, it's about kind of getting him back to those winning ways in terms of how you prepare for a game, what your attitude is, where your energy is. There hasn't been, you know, the first bootcamp for us is mostly like getting the fundamentals down for this team because Tarek just joined. It was getting him used to how the team likes to play. And the second bootcamp after this tournament and before the major is going to be where, you know, I'm going to add a couple of things to their game which I feel can be very much useful and just in time for the major.
So you're going to get that Henry G 4-door strat into the major
4-door, the Bardolph mollies,
yes,
you know, all of that good stuff is going to be there for the major.
All right, we're going to get rid of you, Janko, but much love, and I'll see you in the Ericsson.
Thanks, guys.
That's Janko, the new coach for MIBR, and so far they're undefeated with his presence.
Haven't lost a single map.
Haven't lost a single map. That's pretty badass. For now, of course, the playoffs is when things are going to get a little bit more trying and testing. We'll see if they can leave Stockholm undefeated. I think that may be too tall of a task. But now it is time for us to give you something rather special. In fact, we have a special segment prepared for you. So this was, I think, Yugi, actually. This was that basically ridiculous 4K. The first two, however, blow my mind. We've had analysts, casters, everyone take a look at it, and it seems like the only possible explanation is mad, crazy luck or a lot of reset.
I guess in that kind of scenario, it's always like a mix of luck and good cross placement. Obviously, the angle he's going for is the correct one.
This is the cross to lower, right?
Exactly. That he's aiming at the right place. Now that two people consequently are there when they need to be there, that's always like in French we call la réussite. It's you know, it's when you have that little bit of luck when you do something correctly. So that's what it was, and it was amazing from you, Gary.
I think it's called blatant luck in English.
Blatant luck. Yeah, blatant luck for sure. That is definitely another opportunity. We're not sure. I don't know though, because I feel like you set the scene so well, Jacob, by saying, "Oh, they've scrimmed loads against each other," and I'm like, "Yeah, they've scrimmed," and he knows that's the perfect timing to go for the peak.
I mean, I gave you the opportunity to think that, right? But I think that's more down to it's a scenario, right, where you can't really counter that. He could easily just went into lower dark or do something else. I don't think they've practiced. One of the things about talking about practice in general is the fact that you don't want to show off your good stuff in practice. You want to show off your good stuff against less good opponents, but you're not going to do it against the guys you're playing against in the tournament. So I don't think that was the case here.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We are going to remind you of how our day shaped up. It's just day 2 here, of course, at DreamHack Masters Stockholm, but we do have a little bit of a summary of what we've seen so far, actually, in this tournament, or at least for today. Today's results, we do have them up on your screens, and it was Fnatic who are eliminated first, as we did wave goodbye to them on the B stream. It was Heroic who keep their head above water. Favorite game of the day, Maniac?
It's tough to say. I mean, I was pretty much excited by this MIBR game, but I have to say North beating Astralis in the best of 3 was unexpected and impressive, and it wasn't an easy game by any account, so that could be the best of 3 for me of the day.
And it wasn't necessarily just Astralis playing badly.
It wasn't.
Right? I mean, do we have to give some credit to North for this one?
Definitely, and I think North is the other team in this tournament who's actually taken this seriously enough to come in here with a long boot camp and actually feel prepared going into the first tournament after the break. So those two teams, MIBR North, they put in the work, they put in the hours, and it's already showing off in the group stage now, and that's something to take with from this. It's great to see that the team's actually trying their best, also getting the results out of it.
Yeah, and it's my favorite part of the show. Just before we wave goodbye, it's time to show you the top 5 plays of the day. So strap yourselves in and let's see what those crazy plays have been highlighted. Up at number 5, it was in the Astralis versus North game, and AZ picks himself up a 4K, and Rappo a little 1v2, 2 headshots, and it's crispy.
It's great to see him coming back into shape, right? He's been under a lot of fire for not being good enough, not delivering for this team, but today he showed that he's a man to be reckoned with.
Absolutely, and up next, number 4, Ghost Gaming. It was, of course, Lecro from NIP with this spicy 2K.
I remember watching this action. I think Lecro had 2 or 3 HP maximum, and I remember thinking he might have saved NIP at this moment of the game.
That very moment.
That moment he might have saved them.
Up next, number 3, it's Zipnix on Nuke, where Astralis were battling versus those northern boys.
What is really, really interesting here is the jiggle peek that he does against the AWP. I think for a viewer, maybe it's not like obvious to see, but he knows it's an AVP against him, so it's just going to force him to shoot, and as soon as he hears the shot, he goes wide for it. And that's exactly how you're supposed to play against an AWPer.
Number 2, this was stupid. This third shot's going to blow your mind. Wardell, forgetting which game he's playing, I think. That's some Call of Duty movement right there.
This is straight out ball. You know, this just shows how good of a player he is. This shows like how well he knows the game just to shoot at the exact time he jumps down there.
And number 1, you've seen it once, you'll see it twice. Yugi with this ridiculous double kill, wraps it into a 4K as well. And in a game where they were managing to stay relatively competitive, I say relatively, of course, FaZe did look like they're on another level.
Yeah, that's
today.
a lie, Alex.
It is, okay, fine. That round was cool though.
Yeah,
it was.
But FaZe really, I mean, I think that's probably my biggest takeaway from today. Has to be that FaZe Clan tidied everything up.
At least they look very different from what we saw the first day of the tournament, right? So it gives us hope that they can still go for the $1 million.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Anyway, we should probably get out of here. One final thank you to our sponsors, which I have right here. Big thank you to all of them, of course, to make this event possible. CORSAIR, Monster Energy, Asus ROG, Hacks, and Fortum. That's how we managed to get all the players here and how we managed to tell you there's $250,000 on the line. There's lots of good reasons to thank our sponsors. And I think for now, we say goodbye. Just making sure I've done everything I need to do. I think so. So we're going to go ahead and rest our weary head, and you should too, or jump into a matchmaking game, which I know you're really going to do. All right, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow for more fantastic Counter-Strike action here at the CORSAIR DreamHack Masters.
Place your bets at GG.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at GG.bet.
Are you sick of losing at your favorite computer game? Fortune introduces the Super Socket. Always hit your opponent when firing. Never die in-game again. Instantly improves the win-lose ratio. It's never been easier to win. Innovative switch technology enhances the incoming power up to 50%. Actually, the Super Socket isn't real. But without power, gaming wouldn't be real either. Think about it.
Your exclusive ticket to esports.
being
well, and more grenades raining in. Astralis really using almost all of their grenades to just try and get onto the bomb site, which means in the afterplant, they're not going to have that many, and that could be a big problem. Good kill, though. Stick taking down Malta.
This is such a nice execute from Astralis, and this is what I was talking about. Just keep things simple. They know Grayhound doesn't have the counter utility to push through the smokes, and they know they certainly don't have that or the kits for the post plant. And with the man advantage now, I think Greyhound's just got a call for the save. They've got no leg to stand on in this retake.
They take down Glaive. And actually, did he have the Molotov, or did they already use it? I feel like Astralis had one somewhere, but currently picked up. There's Fates going down, and Meg is going to be taken down. Gratisfaction, that's the AWP gone. So now, I bet they wish they'd taken you up on that safe call, Moses, because there's a bit of a problem. Dexter doing his best, and he's going to take a couple of people with him. It's just not going to be enough. It'll be Astralis winning round number 4, and this is a big problem.
It's a very big problem losing all of that, and that's why, you know, you think you call the save at the moment when you're in a 4-on-5 and you've lost the bomb site and the plant's already 10 seconds gone. You just don't really have anything to do, and if Astralis is just gonna perch up device with an AWP for a post plant on that A ramp, like, and you don't have a smoke for it, you're not getting by. You're gonna take too many losses from him alone. Now back to pistols for Grayhound. And here's that mid control coming in for Astralis, and this time a bit more aggressive as Glaive picks up the pace and marches his way towards the smokes on Catwalk.
Playing close with the P250, obviously a good pistol for it. Within one-shot range almost all the time here, so if he'd hit the headshot there on Glaive, that would have been enough for a kill. But that doesn't really happen. Oh, but Fates is going to be taking down Device. No problem, that Deagle ringing true for the 1 kill. The rest of it is not really going to be working out for Dick Stacy, just hiding inside of the B-bomb site. Don't think there was much that he could have done anyway, so can't really blame him all that much. I wonder if there was anything in that last round where they had the AWP and Gratisfaction had sort of cleared middle. Could they have done more to be quicker on A? Could they have seen it coming? Or were they pretty much playing to the information that they had?
I think they were just kind of playing to the information they had. It's always tough to kind of call that one out, but it is a good effort out of them. I think the tough part is Astralis is just they're so very good at just kind of coordinating when 2 prongs of an attack are coming in, right? So even if you read it, it's always a very hard situation. Here is some aggression on A ramp, and this is going to be fast-paced. Look at this. This is going to be marching right up towards that smoke and connector. Gratisfaction peering over. He's playing it differently, and unfortunately, Astralis is heading towards him in a completely different fashion. He's going to get caught off guard.
He knows. He had that feeling, you could tell. And they are right on the other side, boosting inside of the window. Dupree with the Galil going to win that fight against Fates, and that's a bit of a problem. Flashbang, Dexter did turn around for it, but you can tell Gratisfaction is very scared. They might be coming in from any direction right now. Dexter wants to get close. He's going to be taking down Device. That's a big win, and now he's up in the apartments. That actually maybe could slow down Astralis a fair bit. The follow-up Molotov as well. And Malta going to be taking down Dupree. Glaive finally bringing it back a little bit, but it's still a 3-on-3. Health advantage for Astralis.
Dick Stacy has been flanking this whole time, and that was a big piece of the information that allowed Grayhound to be so confident in this A bomb site. But he went so far. He thinks they're committing. Plenty of time on the clock because of how aggressive Astralis was. Magisk now turns into a lurker, and he's going to play this so well. He's going to get at least 1, but he misses the shot. That was a low HP player. Dexter going to go down anyways. Beautiful work from Magisk, and the round, again, is over. But it seemed like Grayhound actually played that one so smart. It's just all taken away by Astralis.
Yeah, they slowed it down in that 3-on-3. They just decided, let's just push the pause button and wait for a while. And that really paid off.
And you have the luxury of that because Astralis obviously isn't scared to do anything aggressive or quick-paced at the start of the round, right? They're getting into action very, very quick, very early. And you could see, I think, at certain points, players from Grayhound just felt, you know, very comfortable in the kills that they had gotten. I think actually Dexter made a great play. He gets that kill in Palace, and he pushes in. Now, Astralis thinks he's going to hold that, because that would have been the smartest play if he just stays up there, right? Because that becomes so hard to take the A bomb site. When he kind of comes out, it's a bit overexposed, but you like the play overall. And obviously the flank from Dick Stacy that turns out to not really be the winning recipe, but certainly gave them some information.
Yeah, this round, they're playing against couple of upgraded pistols. Bit of a failed Molotov, I think. They maybe wanted, or maybe they want to check corner. I thought they already had one there. Did they throw the Molotov down the ladder from all the way back in the hallways? Did they really bounce it? I mean, there's a new corner in that, remember? They changed the match slightly.
Okay.
So I saw they were lining up. I kind of wish I could see a replay of that because
I didn't catch it.
Normally, you actually get to get quite close to the actual balcony before you can throw that Molotov. So if they figured out a way to throw it without any exposure at all, that's kind of interesting. I almost feel like they've had to because I don't know where that would have come from. I have to go back and watch replay now. I'll have to do actual work.
We'll keep our eyes on it next time. They're shame on them for making you earn that paycheck.
How dare they?
Well, oh, that's not great. They know there's aggression. He's caught out, and yeah, Malta's not going anywhere. Dupree's able to take him down and just not quick enough getting out of the window. And now again, just such early advantage. And look at Dupree picking up the pace, even reading the position. No ammo to really span this. He's out of bullets. Fates is still going to take a decent amount of damage, but again, just massive control to Astralis 20 seconds into the round.
It's even worse. He jumps out the window, and when he lands on the low ground, there's a smoke behind him, so his teammate can't even help him.
Yep.
They were up there, and they were in connector, but they were smoked out. Gratisfaction going to be taken down. Device. That is good news. Big Stacy inside the B bomb side. That's a good adjustment, but Dupree's going to hit that instantaneous headshot. Fate's now coming in. Very nervous, and he should be. Make's on top of the truck, already taking him down. And now there should be a free bomb plant. And how do you retake this with no grenades and an AWP?
Gratisfaction needs to hold the op and just mark it with an angle held, and now he's kind of committed almost too far. But really, he can't do anything until his teammate Dexter comes in on the flank. They need to decide, one, if they're going to go for it, and two, Dexter has to be the one to make the initial contact. You're not getting out of this market against 3 players with an AWP, and I think they're going to call for the save here. Setting up perhaps for some exit kills, but that's not going to do anything. The economy of Astralis is just too strong. They found the position of the op, and now they know it's a save as well, so they can start evacuating and going on the hunt.
Yeah, gonna go see if they could find somebody. Gonna be a quick kill there. Again, taking a couple of rifles away, but I don't think Astralis really care all that much at the moment. It's 8-0 in favor of them, and yeah, I don't know. That mid control right now, we sort of talked about how some teams try and fight for it and some teams don't. It seems like Grayhound want to fight for it, but Astralis are there so quickly.
It seems, I mean, I'd like to say so, but it's a little bit of like a... It's not really like the strongest attempt we've seen at like mid-control from the CT side, is it? Like we've seen Gratisfaction jump out towards Catwalk a number of times with the op. That time was a jump out towards Underpass. They need to, if they're actually going to go for that, right? They need to get some bodies pushing up mid. Have that support in the back. Do a full take on the CT side. I mean, and it's weird because you know what they're afraid of, right? It's that Astralis is going to call some kind of a change because they've had mid-control and just go for like a straight A execute immediately, whatever it might be, and they're kind of afraid of that counter. But at this point, I mean, you got nothing to lose. You're down 0-8. Might as well just go for something. Be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, so brief timeout here to see if we can get things back on track. I think there was just a little bit of a hiccup on the server, so should be good to go in a couple of seconds, I believe. Now, I mean, I kind of wish they would do that too. I feel like they're the team, as far as I've seen them play so far. They kind of need to play like that, right? Like they don't do too well. Maybe with a stand-in as well. It could be pretty hard on the CT side to try and play your default, defensively. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I mean, at this point, you just need to kind of go for it. If you can't sit back against this, even the best teams in the world can't just sit back and let Astralis kind of dictate everything that happens across the map. So you need to try and have an impact. You need to try and have some kind of an influence on what Astralis can do, and at least shut some options down to them. And I think Greyhound's going to have to buy here as well. They have players sitting around, mid, like $35,000 to $4,000. It's Gratisfaction and Dexter can each drop an M4 over. It'll limit their utility, but you'll have a couple solid buys to help you out. That way you can have at least 4 rifles. And you kind of go from there, but you need to fight for some of these rounds down the stretch.
See if they're going to be able to. It's obviously an unbelievably rough start. 8 rounds, even if Astralis lost the next 7 in a row and it was 8-7, they'd still be shrugging and saying, all right, cool.
Yeah. 8
is enough on T-side Mirage, so no trouble whatsoever.
This is where the point that Chad brought up on the desk, though, that was, I believe it was Chad, that was a very good point, is if you're Astralis, there's no reason for you to take any risks. Like, a lot of teams, you're up 8-0, it's Greyhound Gaming, you kind of know that you're going to win no matter what.
Yeah.
And you kind of, play it a little bit fast and loose, and you let players kind of go for some highlights, some frag movie style plays,
Yeah.
Astralis isn't going to do that. This is still Astralis, so they're just going to say, you know what, we have fun winning, and we're just going to play standard, fundamental, smart Counter-Strike, and we're just going to win no matter what. So no point in letting them get back into it, no point in letting it get close. Just handle your business and move on to the next day.
I believe games should be going live in just a couple of seconds. Moses, what about a smart cap? Could you have that?
Smart cap, like a
smart belt.
baseball cap.
Yeah, like a baseball cap.
Okay.
That's smart enabled.
What would it be, like like a screen on your hat that like gives information to other people?
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, but isn't that making the smart hat is for the benefit of the people around you versus you?
Yeah, what if it broadcasts all of your thoughts directly on there? Like,
yeah, because that's a good idea.
Oh, he wants. Oh my God, he does it. Glaive had the advantage. In Gratisfaction, it almost looked like he was for a minute just sort of, breathing himself up. He was, taking a deep breath. Worked out just fine. That is the kind of kill you want. Now you've got a bit of a shot here. Minute and 30. I don't think Dick Stacey realizes how close they are. That could be scary.
Especially this kill on his Zipnix, just coming up the A ramp, able to take a duel. He knows the rotation away towards that B bomb site is going to give him the opening he wants. If he gets this one, it's round over. Already they're considering, and he's going to burn, he's going to follow it up. And Zipnix might have just won the round, but here's Dick Stacey, only able to handle one, and Dupree putting Grayhound on notice. 2 swift headshots, and what can you really do about that?
He got the Molotov kill and the headshot on Catwalk. I mean, it's happened so quickly for Zip.
And listen, Zipnix is known, I hate the terminology, but, if we're going to call him it, the support player where, you're not the one kind of initiating action. You're not the one creating amazing things until it gets to a clutch. And you can see this is what makes Astralis so dangerous. Down that entire lineup, everyone can create something if needed. And Zipnix just marching up A ramp does everything for Astralis.
That's so outrageous. That one kill in the beginning A is enough already. That's good enough. The rest of it, that's just a little bit too much to handle. Dupree does go down eventually. Playing around top mid. Seems like Dick and Malta are going to have a shot at defending this B-bomb site. They've got a bit of a crossfire setup. And they're going to make the work go first time around. Dick Stacey taking down Glaive. That's the beginning. A lot of damage. Followed up on Maggie's keys. Almost out of it.
Oh, that's a great nade, though. Doesn't do too much damage. There's the trade-off. Zipnix is up next, and he goes down. Triple kill from Dick Stacey, jumping for the AK. He does get it. And Device is left in a 1-on-4.
Yeah, almost impossible to get out of this one. The bomb is all the way up there, and he's got so many angles, as you can tell, and taking a step forward, not necessarily going to help him all that much. Feach will take him down. That's a triple kill for Dick Stacey, and that's the first round for Grayhound Gaming, so not bad at all. Just winning that fight in the middle against Dupree, and then, yeah, good setup in the B-bomb side.
I think the bigger thing is, the pick-off in middle. You eliminate that. This round it was Dupree who's the only one there, and that's what we were just talking about a few rounds ago. Be the aggressors and at some point dictate where Astralis was going to go. Obviously, they choose to get aggressive towards B, and you've kind of got them trapped in a funnel with one more kill. Astralis has nowhere to go except to fight forward, and by then you cheat the rotations. We'll see if they get the benefit again of some early picks. And Glaive going to lead the way. He's been able to get to this point multiple times with relative safety, but this time he doesn't have all the smokes over, and Gratisfaction with the AWP is going to meet him. That might have caught Glaive off guard, dueling an AWP in that fashion.
Absolutely did. Another one coming in. That's Device down. Dupree's been with the AWP for Astralis over at the B side. Not really seeing any action, and there's another kill. Sip not going to be able to save them this time around. This is looking much better now for the CT side. And now it's all about saving the rifles. Make sure you come out with 4 or 5 alive in this one. Don't let Magus and Dupree just run wild with it.
Easier said than done, but certainly that is the goal. Preserve the economy from here on out. And you got to wonder how, hearing these footsteps, Grayhound trying to figure out exactly where the attack is going to come from, and that's what might pull him into the open. But great utility usage in these choke points, going to force Dupree out of any angle he wants to off. Smoke going to provide him some cover. Same for his teammate on Catwalk. And he's going to peer into that A-bomb site. It's Dexter who's got some trouble heading his way.
Oh, Dupree, I think he took a bullet through as well. Can shoot through the top of that box a little bit, so that's going to be annoying. Still waiting for it. Even slightly see through some of it, so now it's a 1-on-5 in fact, and not even going to get any real damage in. Gratisfaction having a great round, triple kill overall. That's what we'd love to see. We all wish that it would have happened a bit earlier,
Yeah.
It's that 4th round. That would have been the time to do it.
That round was a little bit helped out. Astralis playing way more individual. You could see, Gratisfaction, yeah, he had to spin around and get those 2 kills, but kind of every duel that was taken early on, even towards that A-ramp, I think it was Fates who got that kill, just 1-on-1 across the map. Missed Molotov from Dupree, that's awkward. And again, back to just an A execute as Astralis. They're kind of against the ropes in terms of their money. Plenty of rounds they've already gotten though, so here we go. The aggression pop flash over, Glaive still gets it. And that's going to be tough to swallow for Dexter.
I was going to say, at the end of the game, that's the kind of round you remember where you just, come on, man, we did the right thing. We had it all timed out. Glaive got the kill anyway, and now playing close range here with the AWP. No chances for any mistakes. This has to work out. He's going to pick up one, but they're right around the corner, and they're actually not going to chase him down. He's still peeking with this AWP. One missed shot, and he's going to be dead, and you can see them playing with him. They line up for the kill, but it's not going to happen. Sip will take down Fates, and now it's all crumbling here at the bomb side. Dick Stacy and Malta left, and 2-on-3 as Malta gets the kill, but he can't really follow it up there. Malta now going to be all alone, 1 versus 3, and there's no reason why they have to fight him right now. Just leave him alone.
Yeah, nice fight selection from Device as well. Gets his attention as soon as he's fighting at him. He just falls away, and now he's going to finish it off. Second kill. Such a slow pressure applied to that A bomb site, and eventually Gratisfaction just gets nervous. I don't know if he thought maybe he pulled the trigger, he quick switches away. That gave him the opening they needed, because you could tell they had no utility. They were trying to bait out that one last shot to turn the corner, given a bit of a gift. 10-2. But Grayhound actually did a pretty good job in those 2 rounds they won of keeping players alive, so they had some cash to rebuy into this. There's the Molotov for the smoke, standing in front of it as well. No one appearing from Astralis.
I really like the way he's playing Gratisfaction. I just feel like he's playing an aggressive kind of AWPing against the best team in the world. I have to respect that. There are so many players that would be tempted to not do that. Somehow Devices managed to sneak into the bomb site. I don't know how Dexter gets that kill, but he does, and it's really great for them. Now looking a little bit better. Dexter does go down, but still a 4-on-3 here. If they just hold on and wait for the bomb, then they should be in a good spot.
Now here comes all the utility, though, from Astralis. They need to use this to cross over, and they're finding some kills. Dupree onto Gratisfaction. That's the AWP on the ground. Another Molotov. Faith is done. Next they line up for, and he only gets one. Dick Stacy has arrived, and Dupree spots him out.
More flashbangs being exchanged. Dick Stacy with a grenade. It's not really going to do anything. Flashbang to try and see if Malta could maybe make the entry. The bomb has been planted just now, and he gets crossfired between Magisk and Dupree. You could tell that he wasn't really sure where he was going to get shot from, and Dick Stacy might be in for the exact same run. Tries for the headshot. Not going to make it work, and Astralis somehow turned around in their favor. 11-2, and that might be the backbreaking moment right there.
That's so cool from Astralis as well. Even though they lose that fight in mid, it was a pretty decent crossfire setup with the AWP in the window room and the M4 inside of connector. So Astralis tries to pick up the AWP, gets dropped by the M4, but the other 3 players from Astralis are using that knowledge. Even in a losing duel there, they say, all right, we've got 2 players. That means their A defense is going to be a little bit weaker. We can really kind of take advantage of that and slowly break their way into the bomb site. Here comes a timing peak from Gratisfaction, and it's obviously not gone well.
No, it didn't work out, but like I said, we've seen it so many times in the past, whether it's Astralis or some other team that's on top, when some of the lower tier teams end up playing against them,
yeah,
they actually play way worse than they could, because there's like that fear factor of playing someone who's at the top of the world rankings. And ooh, that's a great headshot on Dupree. I like the fact that some of the Grayhound players aren't really doing that. There's Dick Stacy taking down Glaive, and the pistols haven't really worked out for them before. They do this time. Fates again with a kill. Make it a triple for him in the round. That's a miracle, and now it's just Sip left. 1 versus 3 and low on health.
There's no way that Zipnix is able to do this. That would be incredible. 7 HP, 1 low HP player. They could line up for him. They do. And Fates had low health, so almost put Zipnix in a position to have a 1-on-1, but there was a flank coming in. It would have been tough. Great round from Fates. 2 kills with the Deagle. The recovery with the AK-47 for 2 more. That's well done.
Yeah, they needed that desperately, just to have that buffer. Hope you win the pistol round. Hope you can roll it into something. And again, they're playing with a admittedly professional stand-in, still a stand-in. So
yes.
So we need to think about that as well in terms of playing the CT side, usually being a bit more difficult. Maybe they could do more on the T side. Roll Dick Stacy into one of those bomb sites and just make it work.
Yeah, he'll lead the way. Gratisfaction again, right around the edge of that smoke. Blinded. He's going to go for more. The flick is almost there. Yeah, you do like to see, finally towards the end of this half, getting some assertiveness, but equally Astralis is just like, you know what? we're going to come out of Palace, and we're going to send a lot of bodies there, and poor Dexter is made to look silly just by virtue of there's no one to really help him out, and so much attention being bought by Glaive in middle. And he's just delay tactics, just buying time. Look how many people are chasing after him. 3 people in mid to just find 1 UMP.
Yeah, they get the kill. That's great, but they've given all of the bomb side, allowed Stiff to get this far in, so that's a heavy price to play to get that UMP off of Glaive, really. And that's going to be the end of the round. 12-3 in favor of Astralis, and we are going to go... Oh, we're not going to go to Stunner after all.
We were going to.
Yeah, but apparently he was missing his Crocs, so he couldn't hear me on camera after all. I was excited for it as well.
I was too.
Do you think he's got like...
Back to the ankle. Yeah, this should be impossible. Well, that's a nice flick, though. And he's got to find Hobbit off to the left. Oh! What is that flip from Draken?
Golden with the Molotov down will try and find them up a bit of time, get across, and Just has bit the dust. Booms is going to come up with another one. And another! He's been a beast so far this event.
Kerrigan's already tagged. So too is Olaf. They're going to have to hit a perfect shot. They can't do it. Taco goes back! Guardian's got to make up for it. He's tapping in, but he can't find it. Fallen's on the defuse. Fallen is on the defuse. The lineup, he's still there. It's done. He doesn't have the ammo. He doesn't have the ammo. He's holding it. Guardian!
What if there was a DreamHack PC? What if we told you there is? This is the DreamHack PC, built with the best components on the market, optimized for a flawless esports experience. Just add games.
Well, DreamHack for me is like, the community, the people, so I really like it. It's like everything for me.
DreamHack to me is a chance to kind of get away from the normal world and just have a nice time with people like you, because everybody here is practically gamers, so you can just have a great time in game.
DreamHack to me is a wonderful place for people to meet. It's also a place of innovation. You get quite a bit of the latest tech and also the latest games, and I love games.
My favorite thing about DreamHack is how big the esports scene has become. Just sitting in like a sea of people, just watching a tournament together. It's amazing.
Probably the music on the main stage. It's really good. Everyone just join jumps, like it's awesome.
Cosplaying. I'm not cosplaying right now, but I was cosplaying the other 2 days, and that's the best thing about DreamHack to me.
Did they make like camo Crocs? Is that a thing?
I'm sure they have camo Crocs.
Yeah?
I'm sure they do.
All right.
I don't know if he's that cheesy. I don't know if he would do that.
All right.
I could be wrong.
You could be wrong. Well, I will do some investigation. We'll figure it out at some point. I still think there's something there. I think it could work. We're in 2018, Moses. It's been a strange year.
Yeah, it has been.
It can only get better, really.
You'd think so. We'll find a way. Fate's the stand-in, 13 kills for Grayhound Gaming. On the other side, it's Zipnik's leading the way, 17-7. But everyone doing good over there. Actually, it's Device who's down at 6-10. So, not coming alive quite yet in this event.
No.
You worried at all? Does that scare you?
Not in the least. But I did make a crazy prediction. I felt like I had to.
Does seem to be your thing.
I don't know if it's not maybe that crazy, but I just wanted to see FaZe win the Grand Slam. So I had to pick them to win this tournament.
Okay.
So
I think that could be cool. I kind of want to see someone with the denial, and it's not, any ill will towards FaZe. It could have been anyone that coming in here with 3 wins. I would just like to see them get to the final and then not win it.
But no ill will.
Yeah, no ill will.
But
could have been anybody.
If somebody cried when it happened, it'd still be all right with you.
Oh, it'd be phenomenal, especially if it was Astralis. I'd love to see that. Because you'd cry too.
Just a little bit. Oh, Glaive sneaking in, getting the kill on Fates. That's a big one. He's still got a good lock on if he can hold the line, that's going to be trouble. Instant headshot. He will get taken down, but Dave's still got a good lock on this and the free. Just has to play it smart. Wait for the backup to be there. He's going to go down to Molto, who seems to be really good at hitting some of these pistol shots. The bomb is down now. P250 long range will have taken care of him in the meantime. Still a 2-on-3. Exactly what they need. It's a P250 long range for Dexter. That kill at the beginning of the round. He might just do it again. He does get caught. Glaive stuck in that kill at the beginning of the round. He might just do it again. He does get caught. Get one more kill. Ground Gratisfaction saw that, but he did coming out. And they're going to get one more kill. Dexter goes down. It's all on Gratisfaction trying to stop the bomb. Defuse it right in front. And they're going to get the headshot. They should have maybe, I think, just enough time for it. Device getting the last headshot in there, and yeah, they're going to be able to get a bit more time than I thought they had actually. So last second.
Yeah, I forgot about that. The birthday confetti for Counter-Strike's birthday.
I forgot about that too, Moses. Entirely.
That actually makes me so happy.
Entirely.
That actually makes me so happy. Yeah, that was a nice retake from Astralis. There needs to be, I mean, there kind of was a little bit from Grayhound. There's that timing where you can notice those 2 players, it was what, Zipnik and Device, who were playing super passively while Glaive was flanking. When they're just kind of, you can tell they're buying for time when you're in that situation. You have to know at that point, something in your head has to be someone's flanking. Now, you can't always do anything about it. They did spin and were able to spot it out. You can't always do anything really able to neutralize it. And we're able to spot it out. They done from Astralis buying time for the flank to come to fruition from Glaive, who had low HP. It's really all he had to do. This is going to be an easy mop-up as the plant is going to allow Grayhound to get those AK-47s in a desperate situation. It's all they can really hope for is to win this next round. An easy mop-up as the plant is going to
really playing the game on hard mode right now. Grayhound Gaming losing both the pistols, only getting 3 rounds in the first half. This is a little bit rough, isn't it?
That's not been the best of times for them.
Yeah, really playing the game on hard mode right now.
It's okay. We'll see what they got on the T side. Like you said, sometimes with that stand-in as well, it's definitely going to be easier for them to coordinate here. We'll just see how many they can rack up. 3 to 14. Here comes the utility. Zipnik's pushing all the way up with the UMP. Gets shut down. Like the effort, but not a whole lot of tools to do it. Pop flash coming in allows for the peak, and actually good trade in the favor of Grayhound. Nice nade work on towards Dick Stacy and damage, so he's softened up to find the equalizer later on. Here comes the utility. Zipnik's pushing all the way up with the UMP.
Beginning they wanted it around like this. Very mid-centric right now for them.
Yeah, and it's well fought and well gained control of mid from Grayhound, even with the damage and the loss of Gratisfaction. The tough part is now Dupree on this flank, and I think he's going to read this and slow down. I think maybe Astralis is wise to this because it's wide across the map. He's going to keep pushing forward anyways, but he's definitely aware it's possible they're watching the flank. They spotted him out. He goes for the re-peek. Thought he might have played that a little bit differently, but a great find, a great call from Grayhound, and just the poise to. Yeah, and it's just wait across the map. Well fought and well gained control of mid.
It's what we were praising Astralis for when they were on the other side. We said it's always a good thing.
Thought he might have played that a little bit differently, but a great find, a great call from Grayhound, and just the poise to just wait across the map. There needs to be a trade here, and this is where after the game there's going to be a conversation, and someone's going to